Starting streaming. All right, let's see if this works. We were hoping to use Streamlabs, or StreamYards, and it didn't work. So, excellent connection. That's a good thing. Live. Nice. Yes. I guess we are live.
Hi.
It has changed how it does things. So, hey there, fellow travelers.
We are 3 minutes late. Sorry.
But it's because of some technical things, because StreamYard, is that who we were using before?
Streamlabs, I thought.
Streamlabs. You used to be able to multi-stream stuff, and it's not working. So, very strange.
All right, there it is.
Oh, no, that's not it. That's the other one. That's not the right thing.
Oh, crud.
That is not the right one. So, hopefully, the right one will pop up. So, we try to sign in with Streamlabs. Liam, no. We tried to sign in with Streamlabs to do it so we could have it on Facebook and stuff like that, and then it just messed it all up. So, hopefully you can see us here now and things are working.
It is not.
There we go. It's on this one.
Okay.
So they're getting it. But the other
Hi,
one
friends.
didn't work.
Let's see who's here. Left kick, uppercut. Mr. Blonde. Traveling the world. Hey, y'all. Michael Mon. Eric B. Hello, hello. Hello, Mark Finley. Nice to see you. Nicole, hey. Gosh. And Darian's on. Nice to see you, too.
There's Sue. Hey, Michael in Dallas.
Yep, there's Sue. I see her. And John, hello.
I'd probably go with German service over Russian service, Travis. Hola, desde Utah. Good to see you.
Okay, let's see.
So the link didn't change. So what happened is I tried to do Streamlabs with this. For those of you who are like, what's going on here? The link thing changed. So I tried to set up through Streamlabs. They used to be, it would multi-stream to like Facebook and YouTube at the same time, and I tried the same thing I've always done, and then now it's like, no, you have to go Prime and pay for the multi-stream stuff. I'm like,
they
whoa,
didn't tell us that ahead of time either.
I was like, what? Because I thought it was just for Twitch to do that, but it no longer switched up, so I was not about to do that. So I said, forget that. So we will have
Here we are.
Anyway.
Okay. It's been a minute. We've missed you guys.
Yes. It was going to be a lot easier start. We were like, hey. Then we had the technical snafus.
It's always fun to start out with something stressful.
Yeah. So we'll loosen up here in a bit.
Mark and I, though, the other day we were talking about how much we were looking forward to this because, everyone out there was like such a part of our lives. Like y'all were like this great community for us, and I know so many of you kind of got to be friends and during quarantine, and it's like summer's gone and we haven't hardly seen or talked to anybody this way. It feels like in ages because we were doing it twice a week, and now it's like once a month, and it's just different. So
yes.
We've missed y'all. Hi, Fierce Mice.
So we're drinking Gentleman Jack tonight.
I'm having a Manhattan.
So she's fancy. I'm not that talented. I need to watch her videos on Fridays for new drinks for that. Yeah. Oh, Elliot thank you for the super chat. Love your Santa Fe video. Was recently there. Point on. Thanks, Elliot. I appreciate that. Oh, we got to share this on Facebook and Twitter.
Can you do that? Because I'm not as fast as you are. It'll take me forever. Thank you, Samuel, for loving our channel. BB says, I'm trying to decide for my holidays. Aren't we all?
Good luck. Holidays? Maybe like holidays 2022. I don't know.
Oh, we're all kind of thinking that way. Hello in the Marshall Islands. I've always wanted to go there.
That's cool.
Someday.
Yeah, they got good internet. I think we should go.
Yeah, right?
Do some work there.
Hey, Musings at Midlife. Nice to see you here. Better place to live, Savannah or Charleston? Most wanted. I can't tell you because I've only lived in Savannah, but I did love it. Charleston's a great place to visit. Charleston's more of a big city. It's got a lot more like outlying stuff and suburbia, I feel like sometimes. But you can always get yourself lost in the old town if that's what you want. And for me, it's Savannah. It'll always be Savannah. But ooh, Cameron's having double chocolate vodka. That does not sound bad, not at all.
No, it doesn't. Come on, Rick.
So let's see. Croatia, Porto, or Malaga? Mark would choose. We would actually put it in that order. Both of us, I think. Croatia first, then Oporto, and then Malaga. Oporto is great, and it's really cool, but it's a little removed from some other things. There's a lot of cool small towns, but you could see some really authentic Portugal that way. Malaga is a party, and if you want anything other than a party, that's not the place you want to do. Croatia is really cool. It's also a good bang for your buck. So.
Well, they both are good bangs.
Yeah,
Croatia,
I know.
both.
Porto.
Porto, yeah.
It was Croatia, Porto, or Malaga, and I said in that order.
I would go Croatia,
Porto, Malaga. I know you would. That's what I said. Let's see. Mr. Blonde just got into the MLB and supporting the Orioles. I'm an NFL fan supporting the Ravens.
Oh, well, he's just consistent
then.
with Baltimore. You got that. So, Donald Hughes wants to ask, hey, what are your thoughts on train travel and getting a private room? So they can be a bit pricey. I actually looked at doing the train from Chicago to New Orleans just to test it out. But I didn't want to pay a mortgage payment. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but
it's expensive.
It was expensive for that. If you would do just the normal seat, it's not that bad. But you can do it. You will pay for it. It will be probably delayed somehow. But it is doable. Just know that you're paying up for that. But right now, there's hardly anybody on the Amtraks, so trains. So
quiet.
It'll be quite quiet.
Everything's kind of quiet right now.
Yeah.
Nicole asks, or she says, I love your travel with friends, find love and hates. Just curious, what's the status with Liam's passport? The status with Liam's passport is that it is here with us, expiring by the day.
Yeah, no, it's not till it goes. It's good until February, but if you don't know, you can't. A lot of places won't let you travel with less than 6 months of validity. So our whole plan was, we would get back from our big trip this summer, and then get his new passport, in July and August, and then he'd be ready to travel in September. Unfortunately, March trip got canceled. May, all that.
Okay, so COVID happened,
yeah.
And the government stopped doing processing passports, and they're 8, 9, 10 months behind. And for a while there, they were only doing life or death.
No, they still are only doing
that. Is it only?
Yeah, they're getting. Basically, what they're doing is.
Loud.
Sorry. Basically, what they're doing, yes, it's life or death. You have that, but there's multiple phases, and they move not all the passport agencies are actually open. Some are, and they've started to get some work done, but they're not fully staffed. So they're trying to work through their backlog, and they have 1.2 million or something like that to go through still. So there's still a long wait. So the rumor was between 8 to 9 months late. It's probably a little bit less than that now. The idea is when they move into later phases, it could be that you could go to a passport agency and with your traveling within 72 hours with proof of travel, then you might be able to get one, but they're not. They're not at that point yet because they're still at the. The only way you're going to get one is it's life or death kind of stuff, and I don't know how you can really prove life or death kind of stuff. So there is that.
Hi, Bia. And Nick Peterson says that that the sleepers on the Amtrak are really great, and he's done them several times, so that's cool. Gabby, yes, we have been to Pittsburgh. Well, I have. Have you?
No.
I've been to Pittsburgh. It was many moons ago with a different boyfriend, not this one.
But I know the Finleys were just there because Terry's family's from there. And
Pittsburgh's a cool town. I like it.
It always ranks really high on quality of life and stuff like that. Def Leppard Rules Rock. Thank you very much for the super chat, my friend.
Thank you.
Rocking and rolling like always. Question is, do you think the borders to Europe and Australia will reopen next year, or do you think it will take longer than that? I think next year, I think they'll open up because the number of people that will have had COVID and everything going on, I think next year, I don't have hope for a lot of places for the rest of this year now. But you never know. I mean, if things get back to where they were in early May, where things were working out, you never know. But right now, it's hard to really say. I would think next year, hopefully we have some stuff. I know for me, I end up planning a few trips for next year. If we can travel from March, I kind of figured out where we could go and try to figure out in terms of healthcare stuff and insurance things and where could we go? So I was trying to work on some of those. But I think you'll have places you'll be able to go, but then there'll be places that you might not be a good idea to go. So it's going to take some time for that.
I also think there will be places where you have to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or you have to show proof of a negative COVID or proof of positive antibodies or something like that.
Yeah,
too.
and there's no set thing yet. Like that's where it's really hard to get answers for anything because no one has any answers. It's kind of like anybody that has kids wondering what school's going to be like. There's no answers yet. You're kind of like, what's going on? So take him upstairs. I got to take him upstairs. Bring him up.
Hi, Megan. Cheers to you too. Junior says, are you traveling now? No, we're not. We're here at home hanging out, just like so very many people. Elliot says, yes, just a heads up. Tanzania is open to American tourists. My brother's going next week, and there's currently no restrictions. Yes, that's true. I've seen that, and we went last year, and we absolutely loved it. I just don't think we can afford to go 2 years in a row. It was not particularly inexpensive. However, it was worth every penny and then some. It was Rwanda and Tanzania just hit it out of the ballpark for us. It was a really incredible experience. So, let's see. Oh, big jump. All right. Oh, the gals are here. Hello,
hey,
gals. All right. We can't get you on the computer. What, Lori's having trouble getting us on? Am I confused here? It says we can't get you on computer. We all wonder why. But she's writing to us, so I guess it's okay. Or maybe she's not talking to us. Hola, Samuel Roca in Portugal.
Hey.
That is one of my best friends from Portugal. That is her maiden name, last name. So.
Oh, you're talking about the Palm Springs thing?
No.
Michael's saying Wolters in Palm Springs. That's where he should be.
I could do that.
Nice.
Somebody asked if we'd ever been to Spain. We have been to Spain so many times, it's not even funny. We have been there a lot.
But it's always been a great time going. I mean, that's one of the things when people ask for countries. If you're going to go to countries where it's foreign language, or maybe you speak a little, like I know in the U.S. a lot of people speak at least some Spanish or a little bit of Spanish. Like Spain's a really good destination because people are super friendly, good food, good times. People want to have fun. They're very laid back. They kind of take the tourists in stride. So it's a really nice kind of gateway country for foreign language kind of place. I mean, if you go to Scandinavia, it's English is almost the same as it is in the U.S. But Spain, you get a little bit more, I don't know, language training, but it is a fun time to go. So I always do that. But BB Sony, Gran Canaria, I do not think it's worth it. I went there for Christmas 21 years ago. It was jam. No, it was a bunch of drunk Germans and Swedes going around drinking watered down sangria, it was a cheap tour.
You're on holiday, right?
Yeah, I mean it was basically guys going out to get drunk
mm-hmm.
People go out to get it's like spring. It was like a spring break kind of thing.
Yeah,
kind of feel to it. So I didn't think it was worth it. I wouldn't go back.
Carol Brown says, "What are the odds at this point of travel to Germany in mid-November?" Slim. Not saying it can't be done or it won't be able. You never know.
You might have to quarantine for 14 days and have a negative test. Because you could have because that's the thing is some places say they're like, oh, we need a negative test or you got to quarantine. And some are like quarantine and negative test or quarantine if you don't have. I mean, there's so many things you're not really sure what it has to do. So if you have a 10-day vacation there and you're going to spend 14 in quarantine,
it doesn't really work. So that's part of it.
Hey Sam, good to see you.
Oh yeah.
Thomas Riser's on here.
Hello Thomas, how are ya?
So Margaret LaJoy, can you make a video on solo travel tips for taking a cruise? So Gary, he does. I don't have my phone. Gary Bembridge, he has a website and videos on YouTube specifically on travel stuff, on cruise things. His information, he has a bunch of stuff on solo cruise tips because what you're seeing now, I mean, even 5 years ago, if you were going on a cruise by yourself, you're going to have to be a big supplement for that, getting the room to yourself and all kinds of stuff. So it was really, really tough. And now cruises have realized there's a whole market for singles going on this. And I'm not saying single, like solo travelers. And so they're actually starting to have some solo berths So you could look into that as well. But that's going to you got to do the research on the different cruise lines that have that. But there is a lot of information out there for solo cruise travelers. So that's kind of cool. I mean, that's like literally like the last 5 years, you've really seen a big jump in that.
Hi, Robert James. Hey there, Mark and Jocelyn. Just wondering, what's your favorite beach, city, or town in the United States? Oh, that's tough. I love Savannah because it's got this great historical place and there's a beach, but the beach is secondary to me. So
Clearwater's got a great beach.
I was going to say Clearwater Beach is really nice. And you're close to Tampa. I mean, and St. Pete, there's a lot there, and you've got a lot of really good beaches in a short area. So that's a cool place. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, then you have beaches like up in Maine, which are just rocks where the land just goes out into the ocean, and it's not necessarily a beach, but there are some beautiful things. Yeah, the Acadia National Park's really nice.
Yeah.
There is that. So Derek, Mr. Means to Travel, thoughts on quarantine in the UK for 2 weeks to then travel like crazy around the UK for a month. That is actually something we've hoping to do.
Really been talking seriously about that. Our issue is that hang up with with Liam's passport. If his passport were good, we would just go ahead and do it now. I have tickets right now that I've had booked for 9-10 months for the UK, and they haven't been canceled. It's the only thing that hasn't been canceled in my Delta app. So
everything else has.
I don't know. We're trying to figure that out. We would really like to just go and do that. There's this beautiful little cottage we stayed in Wales, and I'm like, let's just go there for 2 weeks. More sheep than people. Like you're as out of the way as you can possibly be, and then you just go and travel after your 14 days are up. You just take a test and go travel and do whatever. I think it's a brilliant idea. We're ready to do it. It's just we got to figure that out.
So googly, I can't read the whole name.
Googly.
I sent my U.S. passport in for renewal in March and got the new one in July. That's cool. Nice.
Wow, that's cool.
So Mom DC, we have not been to Thailand, sadly.
We were going to do that a few years ago for my birthday, but
then we had a wedding that popped up.
No, that wasn't it. It was the other year when we went to Russia on that we did that cruise. Right. But that was a crazy trip. So the reason we didn't is because some Thai friends talked us out of it. They're like, you can't go in the middle of the summer. And that's kind of the thing with that whole region over there for us, is that when we have a lot of time, the weather's not necessarily great. So
hey Lori, you on your computer you might be using the wrong feed, because I tried to start with another software thing to get this to work, and I had to go off that to do another stream, and so your computer might be trying to watch the stream that doesn't exist anymore or isn't happening. So go off that, go back to the youtube.com/Wolters World, and then click, and then it should pop up in like live now, and then click on that. That should help you out. So hey, Ryan Donahoe. Hey, buddy. Good to see you on here.
Margaret says, thoughts on the Yucatan. Yucatan is good. I just had some friends who were just down there, but now during this COVID thing, like all the sites that you would see are pretty much closed. But they did go down and they stayed in a resort, and it was at 25% occupancy. She said because of that, a lot of the activities and things were closed. But she's like, you felt like you had a restaurant to yourself. I mean, if you've ever been down in that area to one of those resorts, they're usually packed like all year round. There is no down season, I feel like. And she said it felt like you were just on your own. So it was really cool. So
traveling South Africa. And hey guys, my wife is 8 months pregnant. Awesome.
Congratulations. And
we're dying to go traveling once this COVID mess is over. Any countries you can recommend that are particularly baby toddler friendly? Southern Europe is super baby friendly.
Super duper.
US is baby friendly.
Yes.
Canada is baby friendly.
So I'm going to tell you this. When they're really little, everywhere is baby friendly because... Except Switzerland. They don't like children. No offense to the Swiss. It's just, I think they would say that too.
Yes, they would.
When the kids were little, like Liam was born in Portugal, so literally within weeks of his birth, we took off and we went to Spain because I was sick of staying home. And I took one of those little baby Bjorn, the little thing you put on the front of you, put the baby in there. It was the easiest thing in the world. We went to Spain, we went to Italy, we went to Greece, we went around Portugal. We did all sorts of stuff, and it was very easy, especially if your wife is breastfeeding. You've got the food right there. I mean, just put the baby's head in, and like it was the easiest thing in the world. Never had an issue.
And you can use it too. I carried Liam around all the time.
Yeah, but not the breastfeeding part.
Well, he tried. He suckled. He's like, oh, I'm like, oh, ain't nothing there, dude. Ain't nothing there.
So, bit hairy.
It's like, good. What is that?
So, anyway, I wish you were here to comment.
Hey, Tanya.
So, anyway.
Poured a drink for you, Tanya, just so you know. You exercising, you crazy morning people.
So, yeah, I think that there's a lot of great places. When it gets difficult with any kid is when they start walking, but they aren't quite understand. Like from 12 months, if they start walking at 12 months, 12 to 18, 20 months is the hardest time to travel because they want to run, and they can't run all the time. Also, take a small stroller. I recommend a small stroller, not these massive ones we have in the U.S. Get a smaller one that has like really heavy duty solid wheels, and that helps. We had that one, that Kiko, as Americans say Chico, CHICCO. The Kiko one was amazing. It was an umbrella stroller. It was a little bit heftier. It was like the $20 Walmart umbrella stroller, but on steroids. Yeah, and that worked really well because you could fold it up. It was lightweight. You could throw it on the bus. From the bus. So we would throw Liam in the baby Bjorn, and then like one of us would just hold the stroller behind us because it got small enough. So it was pretty nice. So anyway, check those things out. Also, as you travel, if they need to have their car seat, there's something called gogobabies.com, and they have this telescopic handle, or is it Baby Go-Go's?
Go-Go Babies.
Okay, with a Z. It's got like a telescoping handle. You can attach it, and I tell people this all the time. It's the best thing ever. You just drag your kids around in their car seat, and it's like they're a piece of luggage, and it's fantastic, especially in.
Oh, Simon up in Montreal has been taunting me with all kinds of great tips on Montreal and Quebec around there, and he's like poutines on him if we get up there. Seriously, he sent me a thing the other day, and I'm like, I love you, but I hate you. Because he just had all these great sites and all great things to do. And I'm like, I wish we could go there. So, Alina Bell, any tips on doing solo road trips from Texas to California? Oof.
That sounds hot. Yeah, you know what? Load up on your favorite podcasts and invest in Sirius Radio or some really good books on CD. I would recommend Harry Potter. It's really great.
There's a long series, so you can get.
Yeah, it'll help you. But anyway, that would be good. So Turn It Up World says, cheers, Wolters World, pour me a drink. Well, sister, there you go.
So Tanya and Dave, they've been to Vegas a lot. They're in Texas. They're in Disney World recently. If you want to see some live stuff, they go live like all over the place. It's so fun. Like I'll be in bed, right? Because I'm old fart and they're youngins, and I'll be in bed. And then I'm like, I can't sleep. I turn it on. Like, oh, they're live. Like, hey, we're walking through Vegas at midnight.
Can I just tell you, I really like you guys, and I think you're fun. But there are nights when I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, just because I can't find my headphones to like not play my phone like quiet. But I'm like, no, this is too fun. So there's been a few times I've actually been sleeping in Liam's car bed, like the kid little Corvette bed, because Liam's like sleeping in the corner of the room or something like that. I'm like, well, that bed's open, I'll just go there and listen. So
because I'm asleep, and then all of a sudden I hear you guys, and I'm like, God, they're having a party. I'm tired. Y'all just get.
Yeah, but Tanya and Dave, they have some really fun stuff. If you want to see things, how things are going in Vegas and Orlando right now, or Disney World stuff, they have some stuff they've been putting out, but really fun live feeds. So if you can't sleep at night, go check out Turn It Up World. They might be live some crazy place. You can have a fun time with them. So,
Hello,
Just a shout out to them.
Coffee. How are ya?
Okay, sorry, which one? Oh, Fortune Coffee. Hey, it has been a while. Hey, I'm glad you're out of quarantine. Very nice.
Exciting.
So, the micronation of Polynesia. Oh,
Pontonia.
Pontonia. Is that when you live on a pontoon boat? I don't know. Any ideas on how to become an exchange student? Yes. I was an exchange student
A lot.
4 times. And then I got degrees when I was an exchange student, still studied abroad. If you're looking in high school, look for a reputable program like Rotary International, AFS. You want to go with like a legit company or a legit organization. Not saying that not all of them are legit, but some are a little bit...
Make sure they have a history.
Yeah.
They're not like brand new. Like, yeah, you want to do something where people have some experience under their belts.
Yeah, so if things happen, because things do happen, you go there. But if you're going to be an exchange student in high school, it's a great experience. Make sure you talk to your high school counselor or your college counselor. Make sure you get the right classes. You still graduate on time and stuff like that. So you want to be careful. But actually, if you go to our site, just put study abroad or be or exchange student Wolters World or study abroad Wolters World. We have I did a bunch of videos 4 or 5 years ago on study abroad, from like how to choose where to live, what to do. So we got a lot of stuff there that can help you out. So, but yeah, it's really cool. I love doing it. So.
Robert James says, are there any countries that you've traveled to where you didn't have to switch plugs from the American style other than Canada and Mexico? I feel like most of the Caribbean is on the same as we in the States are.
And there was some like in Brazil where depending where you were, sometimes you had the Brazil plug, sometimes you had the European plug.
Yeah, there's that.
Was Japan I think the 2 this way as well, I think.
I don't know.
I need to put a blog together with that, just so people see like country, what plug do they use. So I'll put that together. Thanks, Robert. I appreciate the suggestion.
Andrew Curry asks if we know anything about travel physical therapy. Do you know if you can work as a physical therapist abroad? I don't know.
So if it's something that needs certification, I mean, you're gonna have to go through their certification process. But if like you're like massage therapists and stuff like that, I have a friend of ours. He actually got he went to the south of Portugal. He'd already done it, but he went to the south of Portugal to do like a certification camp.
Oh yeah,
and there are some of these certification camps you can go to that'll give you like training. You might already have it, but it gives you the certificate, so you can say certified. I know it's massage therapy. That's not what you're doing, but it's something to look into. And some places they're looking for more people because they just don't have enough. Like you'll see, like the UK will just bring in nurses from the Philippines or wherever just because they need people. So it might be one thing to look into.
Griffin, hello in Wales. I so want to be there. Laura is saving up tickets for fall of next year. We're all going to cross your fingers for you and all the rest of us too. Hello, Dudley Do Right. Made a travel bucket list. 52 places on the list. I need a professor's salary.
Yeah, no.
It's not just a professor's salary.
Yeah, it's not just a professor's salary that does that.
It's the professor's time off is what you need. So, oh yay, Lori got this up on. So good. 52, a trip every weekend, 52 weeks a year. That's really good. I try to read 52 books a year. I don't always get there, but I try.
So traveling with Nick Peterson, my month of traveling came just at the right time. So ready to just forget about life and enjoy the road. Seeing Tom, Elwood, Christian, the Finleys, Ronnie D, and Brian Smith. Yeah, that is one of the things. So cool. If you get a vacation the right time of your life, because I don't know about some of you, but you know, like sometimes you just need that vacation, you need that break, and sometimes it just happens the right time. And I think for Nick, it's just the right time. There's other times you're like, man, if I would have had this vacation 1 week later or a week earlier, or like I needed this vacation 2 months ago kind of thing.
I think we all feel like that right now, don't we?
Yeah. That is nice. So Sam's asking, have you been to a Ripley's Believe It or Not museum? I have. Just like Madame Tussauds, I don't think it's worth the money because a lot of them are really kind of pricey. So there is that.
Let's see.
Hey, Brian Aubrey.
Elliot says, Jocelyn and your love, open container. Well, that made me think Savannah and open container laws. Because, in Savannah, you can drink on the street. They're only like, what? It's New Orleans, Savannah, Las Vegas.
What?
That you open container laws. That's what that
there's
made me think of.
Right now it's a little bit different because a lot of cities have
they have
loosened their rules so people can drink outside. Because here's the thing: is
we're all losing our freaking minds.
One thing you'll notice is like when you travel in Europe, you travel in South America, you can sit outside and have a beer on the sidewalk or in a bar, like outside kind of stuff. The U.S., and places have regulations outside the U.S. too, but in the U.S., a lot of places you are not allowed to have any alcohol outside the doors, and they can get a big fine. So they actually have to apply for a special liquor license or a special permission to have a beer garden, to have something outside. And with COVID, now it's like, wait, we're going to let people serve food outside, serve drinks outside, and we can do that. And sometimes it's only going to have a few outside. Now they're letting them have bigger. And I hope this is one of those things that stays after COVID, that we can still drink outside. We can do that because then it makes it much more of a better experience when you go out to eat. Because I can eat outside now. I can have a drink. I can do that instead of let's get shoved together in a restaurant with bad lighting. So. Oh, Elliot Smith, my German girlfriend and I are trying to figure out a meeting. The UK seems loosest. Iceland would be great, but it's closed. Ireland not often, but can't leave hotel. Well, Croatia's a long haul for me.
Do you need to leave the hotel?
Exactly.
You your girlfriend at this
if you got to be there for 2 weeks.
All right, now we don't need to get into their private life.
Yeah, but that's one thing because I've actually there's been a few people that we've had that've had like boyfriends in Germany or girlfriends in Poland or whatever, and it is tough. It's tough.
Nick Peterson asks if there's anything particular to see in Sedona, or is it just the scenic drive from Phoenix, or from Flagstaff? So,
I thought it was just the drive, personally.
The hiking there is incredible, and we didn't do that much because the kids. Well, Liam was like 2, and that's just like the worst time to hike. 2 years later,
he wasn't even 2 yet. No, he wasn't. He was almost 2.
Okay, well, anyway, it was just not a great time for us to do massive hiking like that. The town of Sedona used to be like this quaint, sweet thing, and then everybody moved there, and so it's kind of lost some of that. Flagstaff, however, has still got it, and I'm a big, huge fan of Flagstaff.
I like Flagstaff.
Like, if Mark could work at
Northern Arizona,
I would
Buffaloes? No.
I don't know, but it's just a great place. I love that area. I have a lot of childhood memories from there. So anyway, yeah.
So Stephen Evans, do you think there'll be a second shutdown for the U.S.? In certain places, I think there'll be, but I don't think it'll be. I think it's
going to be rolling things, and it's going to go by state or counties and things like that. Yeah, by cities.
Bernardo no Brasil, oi meu amigo.
Oi, boa noite.
Boa noite.
What are you drinking? We are having a little Tennessee whiskey.
Just a little. I got the small bottle because it's just today. Just that's for today. It's for a little splash. We might have guests or we might hallucinate if we drink all this alcohol. Anyway, some other fun stuff on here. Hey, I'm glad we can bring up some shut up and drink. Oh, Tanya, you're gonna get me so drunk one of these days. Let's see, Edward. We did a family trip for 4 to Italy, Rome, Siena, Florence, and Venice over 14 days for less than $4,000. It was awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. And Edward brings up a good point. Yeah, I mean, I know $4,000 is not like no money. But think about it. I've always said this to people. It's like once you get past the flight, I find traveling in Europe and staying in Europe and eating in Europe a lot cheaper than the U.S. Mm-hmm. Because in the U.S., if you're staying at like a Holiday Inn or Holiday Inn Express or something like that,
ice me, baby.
You're looking at what, $150 to $200 a night, right?
At least.
But if you're in Europe, you can get a nice little place for €75, so like $85.
And we do it a lot.
And you have that, and so it really saves up. You're like, wait a minute, I can actually get 14 days in Europe for the price of like 9 days in the U.S., maybe 10 days in the U.S. Now you do have to factor in the pricing, and that's why I always tell people, look and see when you're going to travel, because if your kids are out of school or your kids are little, go in September, go in October. You can still get some decent weather a lot of places, and there's very few tourists out there, so you can get a really good bang for your buck, and the prices are super good at that time. So yeah, just something to think about. So thanks for bringing that up. Musing in midlife. After COVID, I hope people still stand back in the line and not punch up. Yeah, they're not even doing that now. So
yeah, no. You know what? I feel like people are going to be a little more careful about things, and I really hope all those yahoos who don't wash their hands in the public bathrooms that I scowl at. Because yeah, if you go in a public bathroom and I happen to be in it and you leave without washing your hands, I will give you the stank eye, and I will not make any bones about it. I might even say something snide under my breath. Because you're gross. I'm hoping that we come out of this as a whole. Humanity as a whole comes out with a little bit
more hygiene.
A little bit more hygiene.
That was well, our friend Colette, when she was flying, because I heard they told you the story. Well, and there's some other people.
I don't know what the story is.
Anyway, they were saying when they did the pre-flight safety check thing, and they were going through all the talk and they were going through all the stuff. They kind of were like, wow, it really makes you realize how little they did to clean the planes before.
Yeah, it was Colette.
And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's like the hotels. You're like, it was disgusting from here.
Hey, Chris Bates.
Hey, JoJo Wolf.
Where's Chris Bates? See you right there.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Yeah.
From hot Arizona. Yeah, Mark Finley is in Texas, and he said outdoor dining maybe not as cool in Texas.
Yeah, no, they need those spray fans.
From
they have
October
at Disney.
through March, maybe?
I know, I miss it. I miss that dry heat. But he's in Phoenix. It's humid there.
Well, that's Chris.
It's humid
it's
there
humid.
compared to people.
You can feel the air.
Oh, yeah. Woo.
Let's
Goodness.
see.
We
got jump. Sorry.
Lord Almighty. We are way behind again. Math God. Wow, I'm not
Oh,
good at that.
yeah. Edward Football, thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you, Derek, for pointing it out. Yeah, because our stuff is not going through. That's really cool of you.
Thanks,
thank you,
Edward.
Appreciate it.
Sorry, I didn't. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
There's
How does that show up?
Okay,
Thank
Elliot,
you, Derek.
thank you. And Elliot says, Mark, I got a ticket to Sao Paulo for mid-November. What do you think Brazil? Oh.
Do you think Brazil is worthwhile?
Yes.
I do.
But I don't know that you're going to be able to go there in mid-November.
Yeah, they've got some problems right now with it all, so you got to be careful with that. I would still go to Brazil. It is a good time. It's a good time anytime you go. Sao Paulo is not the best place for tourists to go because there's a few museums and stuff, but you want to go to Minas Gerais, you want to go up to the northeast or to the Pantanal or something like that. Rio's got its own issues, but it's still worth going to for sure. Jacob Bradshaw, thank you very much for the super chat. Hey, Mark, thanks for the brown Wolters Bavaria shirt from years ago. Still wear it.
Awesome.
Nice. Hope you can make it to Wilmington, North Carolina so you can experience Flaming Amy's Burrito Barn. It's delish. We were there a few years ago.
It's been a long time, Mark. You think it was a few years ago, but it was
That's true. I think that was before Thing was even born.
It was before. I think we were trying.
We went to Oak Island.
One of my best friends is from.
Oh, and then because in Wilmington, I was applied for a job at UNC Wilmington, and they didn't take me.
They didn't take him. Tanya, yes, that it's not a black cherry. They're Amarena. They're Italian cherries, and they're ridiculously good. And you should totally get them.
Until they do right during. Dudley, thank you for the super chat. So. Yeah, during COVID, made a travel bucket list, 52 places. I need a professor's salary, like we were saying.
That came up somewhere, before, but it wasn't a super chat.
So, yeah, I think at first I was thinking of all the places I wanted to go. Then I kind of went through that phase that I'm like, we're not going to travel anywhere. And then a few days ago, I actually planned out because, I was like, well, can I get Caleb to 100 countries before he graduates high school? So I made out the next 4.5 year plan of where we could go and try to if COVID goes away and we can do this, how do we fit this all in? And I'm doing the math, and I think I got Caleb to 98 countries by Christmas of his senior year in high school, and I'm like, oh, so it's possible and that was because he's going to be in high school, so we don't take him out of a lot of school, so. We're doing that. So I was trying to figure those things. No, we got to figure these. Okay. That's why you have the problem, babe. Oh, this is why it is. Our entire chat dropped off. That's why it was there. So thank you, Derek, for bringing that up, buddy. I appreciate it. And the super chat people, I'm sorry it took us so long to get back to you. It's the fun things, because usually on yours where it shows that little thing up here where it says oh, this person had a super chat or something like that. What we see doesn't have that. And so it used to actually have it where it would pop up. So like, oh, hey. So apologies.
Terry Finley is wearing her Wolters World Bavaria shirt, and she spilled spaghetti sauce on
Hey,
it.
that makes it even more Wolters Worldy because that's all I ever do is spill crap on myself.
Shut up, Mark. Okay. Lori's. I'm doing double down on my
Added travel budget to extend my next trip to Europe for a month. COVID broke my travel promise to treat myself to a trip every year.
No, you didn't break that.
No, COVID broke it.
COVID broke it.
That's what she said. COVID broke my travel promise.
I got. You know what? Remember we went to the eye doctor right before we went into quarantine?
Yeah, I think your eyes have
I
gotten
never
worse.
got my glasses.
You need to get them. Well, the thing is, again, see, now that YouTube's a bit more mature and older, you think they'd give an option to, like, even when I try to, like, zoom in, it doesn't,
then we lose half the words.
Yeah. So it's...
Can you scooch that over?
No, because it still won't give it all because it's still trying to fit it into that thing. So...
See, that kind of stinks because I'm old.
Kathy Wolters is in the house. You should say hi.
Kath.
Hi, Mom. Hope you're doing well.
Nice to see you.
Uses of Midlights. I'm geeking out on my spreadsheet since I can't have reservations. VRB list has rated my various perks, etc. It helps. Yeah. Actually, I've done that for like the miles and traveling and where to go and stuff like that. So I have a few of those Excel spreadsheets too.
You know what's great is he stopped telling me about it. I'm like totally cool with that because it was kind of getting depressing for me. I was having a really hard time for a while. Yeah, and talking about it made it worse. But now that we're all here with you guys, that makes it a little bit better.
So, Kilardia, what is the current situation of travel in Europe? So Europeans can travel within Europe. I've actually had friends that have sent me pictures from their travels and they've gone places, but there's nobody, like everywhere they go is empty. I mean, a German friend, this in Spain, was in Italy, and he's walking around Rome and there's nobody there. So even if they can travel, people still aren't traveling.
Our Italian friends are traveling with, like, they're all like in northern Italy and they're kind of going around to little towns around their area, but they've pretty much stayed in that area. Mark Finley, yes, the new camera came in, but we haven't used it yet. Because
when I plugged it in, it's not a plug and play, so I have to like redo the settings and everything.
We need to work on some things. So,
and with our Streamlabs snafu earlier, it didn't happen. I'm sorry, but it did come in.
Pila says, Mark, what do you love most about at Kathy Wolters?
Everything, because she's amazing.
Oh, goodness.
So, Dudley Do-Right, thank you very much for another super chat, my friend. Inexpensive hotels in Europe. Any tips on finding them? You have a list. Love these chats. So so a lot of people always ask us for like restaurants to go to and hotels to stay at, and we do not give out recommendations for places because we find that they change so much. It's the only place we've gone to multiple times, or organizations we've gone through multiple times, like Perfectly Paris for Paris, that have consistently given us good places. So we usually don't do that because there's been too many times we've gone back and the place has been crap, and I don't want to send people to crap places. It's the same thing with restaurants. But in terms of finding cheap hotels and expensive hotels, Jocelyn, you go through.
So when I go through like a rental and I look at VRBO or Airbnb, and sometimes I will just Google like holiday lets for a place or whatever. Whatever I find, I read the gamut. I don't read every single review, but I read a couple 5 stars, a couple 4 stars, a couple 3, 2, 1. And I kind of gauge it. And I look for certain things. I look for location. I look for clean. I don't really care sometimes, if it has like a lot of amenities. It's just a place to put our heads at night. And as long as it's a safe place to put our, our things during the day or whatever. So I look for safety. I look for good communication with the owners, things like that. So those are my big things. But you'll have different priorities for yourself. But read through those and kind of get an idea. Also, both VRBO and Airbnb, often but not always, you can message the owners and just say, hey, I want to know blah, 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 blah. This is me and my family and whatever. And often that gives me a better gauge than anything else. So those are my things. Don't be afraid of things like pensions. they're, they're great. There are hostels of different levels now. I mean, hostels can be high end now. So, just read through.
So inside Lauren's brain, I don't know if you saw mine. I didn't. But
Hi, Lauren.
Mention I want to go to Scranton to see the office stuff. So this gets me thinking.
That's funny.
So there are some places you can travel around the world to see, and for example, if you're in Tunisia, you can actually go to Tatooine. Like you can go where Luke grew up. You can do that, or you can just think of any James Bond movie. There's all those places you can see. I know my mom
His
and I.
mother's been to most of them.
So my mom, she probably was like, "That's not why I wanted to go." I don't believe her, but we were in Vienna, and she's like, "Oh, we could go to Bratislava." I'm like, "What?" Yeah, we should go to Bratislava. I'm like, "Okay, sure. I've never been." So we went to Bratislava, and we're walking around. Then
Which is worth staying, by the way.
Oh yeah, definitely, and stay the night. I mean, your money goes way farther
Lovely
there. People
place.
nice. We really like it. I just hope I can get the B-roll to work. I can find it and get it saved because I want to put out our Bratislava and Slovakia videos. But anyway, so we're there in Bratislava and walking around. My mom starts looking around at this one square. It's like outside the opera theater. And she's looking around. I'm like, "Mom, are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah." She's like, "I think he was shooting from there." I'm like, "What?" And then she's like, because it was a James Bond with Timothy Dalton was in Bratislava. And so she's like trying to recreate where he would have been and how it was set up. And I'm like, I never asked her, but I always felt that the whole reason we went to Bratislava is because she wanted to see a James Bond location. It was
That's
pretty
not
funny.
the only time she's done that, though.
Yes.
Not that she's suggested, but just we're somewhere and she goes, "Oh," and she always knows. It's great. It's like she's memorized them all. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she has.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, music midlife. Good point. I never reserve a VRBO that doesn't have reviews, and this is one of the
Heck
things.
no.
Yeah.
Nor an Airbnb, for Pete's sake.
Yeah, because Airbnb's finally they're getting enough reviews.
Better.
Because what happened before is, think about it, if you could review them, they could review you. They give you a bad rating if you said something bad. I mean, I've seen lots of VRBOs and Airbnbs. If you're not going to give us a 5-star rating, don't write a review or let us know and then give us the 5-star because we'll change it. Then we'll give you a 5-star. And then that's why you're like,
hell no.
And that's what I don't like about those systems, because you can't. I mean, that's why it's really important to read between the lines. Like the place we have in Connecticut, I know a lot
Y'all
of you
have heard this story,
where it's like they're super attentive, like so attentive they're like peeking through the windows.
We're looking in the
scary.
windows. Freakers.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you
Oh,
really.
the fan's going crazy. Yeah, it got hot in here. So.
Well, it's
sorry.
because I'm in here, baby.
Booyah! That's right. Hey, Katie Smith. Good to see you. Oh, we're jumping around again. Let's see.
Have you seen the show Hotel Impossible? On one episode, one of the hotels required guests to share a toilet.
We've gone to places like that.
That's not outside the realm of possibility in many places. So, yes.
Larry, did you just get in? Costa Brava, having a good time? Well, you just came home, and the locals are still having a good time out. You know, you came in early. You know, you and the grandmas came home at like 3:50 a.m. because they go late. They go late there on the Costa Brava, my friend. Good to see you. Let's see.
Randy says that Kathy Wolters is the Beatles of this chat. She's a superstar. She is.
Heck yeah.
That's great.
Hex to the yeah.
All right.
So let's see. So Laura was saying that when she was in Vienna, she had a choice between Salzburg and Bratislava. She chose Salzburg. Yeah, that's so tough. I honestly, you didn't lose because both are winning destinations. So you are totally fine.
What's your favorite lake in the Lake District? Rick Steves is Lake Como. Do you agree?
Yeah, I kind of do. Just because because so many people go there that the tourism infrastructure is developed there. So I mean, Lake Como is it's a regional train from Milan train station to go up there. So you can do a day trip. I know.
What about Garda?
Garda Lake. Well, with Garda Land, you can go to Garda Lake and you can do that. There's stuff too that's more of a family friendly one. It's a cheaper one as well.
That's my choice because I love Garda Land.
So, Mr. Batman, do you guys visit haunted locations? I've been trying to go to on the Savannah Ghost Tour. How long have it's been like decades together, and I've always wanted to go on the Ghost Tour in Savannah or do one of those, and for some reason I never get to go
Oh, there's a cobweb up there. I need to go clean that.
Why don't you go clean that cobweb?
So
I even have videos prepped for the most haunted cities in America, but it's like, here's the haunted city, here's the tour, and here's some other stuff to see when you're there. Because I can't go full travel channel where it's just like, I saw a ghost! And like totally lie to people.
You know what? Here's the deal. If you want a real haunted tour, I will take you into the Pirate's House late at night. And you can be scared poopless. Because it is scary poopless late at night.
But I'll be with you, so I'll be fine.
I'll be peeing my pants, baby.
But I'll be with you, so there's that.
All right.
Oh, yeah. So, Nick D, there's a UFO in Bratislava. The aliens are taking over. Yeah, so in Bratislava, they have the bridge. It's called the UFO bridge.
Oh.
There's a bridge there that has like a straight up UFO that has like a bar on top of it and stuff like that. You can go see an observation deck. So
it's a cool place.
Yeah. I've always had a good time when I've gone there. Dang it. Where was one I was going to read? BB Sully, Mark, what's your family background? So, my mom and I, honestly, right now, my mom and I should be in Colmar, France right now, because we were going to go see some of our family villages from back in the day. So last year, we went and saw family places in Scotland, up in the Shetland Islands, and stuff like that. So we did one this year, and so my mom and I were going to go back this year and see some of the village in Germany and in France near the border that kind of back and forth. Alsatian stuff. So we were going to go there and see those things, but alas, that didn't happen. So hopefully my mom and I can do that next year. So there's those things there.
Jasmine's asking best hotel in London. Jasmine, we've never stayed in a hotel in London. Well, you did once for a conference way out on the outskirts.
Yeah, because it's by the god, it was like a.
But Mark,
because work is like, you will stay there. I'm like, but I could stay with my friend
for free.
But
and we always stay with his friend Dave, who they've been friends since they were like 19.
Yeah. So we studied abroad in Vienna together and became best buds. And when I lived I moved to Europe in '99, and then he moved to Europe in like 2000 or 2001, around there. Like I helped him go find his first apartment. Like I was visiting for that.
You're so cute.
I know. And so Dave's been there for 20 years now. And when I used to live in Lithuania, I would go see him almost every month. I'd probably go 6, 7, 8 times. And I'd go stay with him. And then there was this person I was dating that I might stay at their house occasionally as well.
I almost dropped my wine.
Oh yeah.
Or my whiskey.
So yes.
Throw me off.
So
Another
I mean,
woman.
honestly, if I think back to it, all the times I've been to London, there's only the one time for VidCon last year, because that was a work thing, and I ended up staying at Dave's house for a couple nights anyway, and then.
Because y'all drank too much, yeah?
Yes. Yes, there was no coming back. I was not coming back that night. And then, what was another? I was there. I had to stay with my parents in like 2003 or something like. No, we stayed because Dave went back. Dave went back home for Christmas, and so my parents and I stayed at his place. Yeah, no. When I went and
okay, shut up, Mark. Jasmine, somebody on here is going to tell you where to stay, and Mark can just shut up. Yeah. And everybody should drink now.
Cheers.
Viking Turtle says, is the UFO building a pyramid asking for Elon? I don't know, but
Viking Turtle, it's just a bridge that has like an observation deck on top. Bye, Nick. Rusty, what's up, buddy? I've watched him every night for the last month. I need help, y'all. Well, I'm glad we could be the bridge to break you from that.
I still have not seen it.
I know. See, what's funny is I will get, because I did a lot of theater when I was in junior high and high school and stuff, and musical theater and stuff. So I always had the tapes of like Les Mis and Phantom of the Opera and stuff. And
you did?
Yeah. I remember going to when I'd go to the Sandusky, Ohio, our friends the Deerings, and they had like Phantom of the Opera on CD. Fancy. I used to put that on, and then occasionally I'll put on a Cats. Like, I mean, older stuff, I'll put on some musical stuff just occasionally. Like, oh, that's nice to go back.
Yeah, I listen to White Christmas a lot.
Yeah. Best non-Disney theme park in Europe. Okay, the Disney park is not the best in Europe.
Gardaland, Isla Magica.
Yeah, Gardaland in Italy is great. Isla Magica in Sevilla, Spain is great. Europa Park in Germany is okay. Hansa Park's okay. I think you're gonna go. But I think Gardaland's probably my favorite one.
Chris Bates says, when I was a kid, I saw a ghost in my great grandma's house. Nobody believed me. Many years later, it became a B&B, and their fame was that it was haunted. Redemption. I agree. I mean, there's some scary places out there.
Where you have your friends, like, I was like, oh, I thought I saw something in your door. Oh, was it an old lady? Yeah, that's so and so. I'm like, what?
John
I
has
know.
one, and then the Queen Anne that we lived in Quincy. There was a spot on doors and windows would sort of open and close of their own accord, but there was a spot on the landing that scared the crap out of me, and I feel like somebody, I don't know. It's just creepy.
Pila, we're still drinking whiskey all night long.
Yeah,
night long. Hey, BB Sonny, if you want to know how we met, we actually have a video on that. How did Mark and Jocelyn meet? I think it's almost at 100,000 views now.
Really? People care that much about
how we met? It only has 80,000, so people don't actually care. I'm looking it up if you want to answer your question.
Do you both miss high school? No.
See, I've loved every part of my life, because I can look back and that was really fun. Like high school was really fun, and
I had a good time.
And college was really fun, and master's was really fun, and PhD was really fun, and working was really fun, and being married was really fun, and having kids is really fun. Like I've loved all parts of it. It's like would you have? No, I liked all of it. I mean, I was a fat kid when I was in school, but I still loved being in school when I was a kid. I mean, I loved that all of it. It's been great. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
I don't miss it. I mean, I'm still in touch. Like, actually, Sunday night, I had a Zoom with 3 of my girlfriends from high school. And since COVID, we've been making an effort to do this more often. One of my good girlfriends just lost her dad. And so we all went to the funeral and did the social distance. Let me tell you, that's an unusual funeral. It made it sadder. But, we all still come together for the big stuff. So, yeah.
So that's the...
What is that?
How they met. This one up here.
Oh.
Can't see. How did they meet? Only 82,000 views. Sorry.
Allison says, y'all getting drunk.
Not yet. We're only an hour in. Just wait till hour 3.
Bright side, my last full day of work for 3 months. Yes, that's right. Allison is going to hike the trail.
Oh, the Appalachian Trail, that's right.
Yeah.
I thought you already took off.
No.
Oh, it's coming soon.
Not yet. That's very big.
See, that's kind of cool. The Appalachian Trail, hiking the community of Santiago in Spain, going to Santiago in Spain on that one. That's another great. There's some really great hikes and treks that you really have time to really reflect, and it's just such a powerful thing. I mean, the longest trek I've done was like the 4-day Machu Picchu, Inca Trail thing, and it was just like, you got the hike and you're like, oh, this is, it can be hard with the altitude, but you're like, it's so beautiful. It's a really great experience. So I'm really happy for you.
And Cole says, what's your favorite German city? P.S. I'm German, so you better answer correctly.
Well, it depends, German city or town? I mean, I'm biased for Berlin because I lived there for almost 3 years. Excuse me. But like great cities in Germany, there's a lot of really great places.
I like Bonn.
See, you like Bonn.
I do. I really enjoy Bonn. Maybe it's because we have great friends there.
Yeah, that's probably wrong.
We have a good time.
Yeah. So, Mr. Blonde, some great ones. Bomberg, anywhere in the Harz Mountains. Lübeck. No. Lüneburg. I like Lüneburg a lot. Regensburg's great. Just one of the good ones. Actually, if you go up, like Stralsund, not a lot of people go to Stralsund. I really like the 4 churches there. It's really kind of cool. There was one on here. Mr. Blonde, have you ever watched an AFL game? Australian Rules Football? I did actually go to a game in Adelaide, and they set the record for like most points scored in a game. It's like 1993.
They were just trying to show you.
And it was amazing because it's like if you go to a U.S. baseball game and it was like a 18-run game. You're like, whoa! You're like, dude, this isn't normal. It's like you go to a basketball game. It's like 200-point game. You're like, whoa, this isn't normal. I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. And my friends actually sent me a T-shirt because they made T-shirts for it. It's like 245. I don't know what the score. It was like something crazy. But yeah, it was a really fun time. So I enjoyed watching that for a while because back then.
Shut up, Mark.
Back then, ESPN didn't have all the stuff.
It's a long story. I need to ask you questions.
Yeah, I don't stop you from yelling.
Y'all drank. AFL. I thought AFL was like that.
AFL-CIO.
No, I thought it was like
American
that
Football
at XFL. I thought it was like that Arena League.
Well,
football.
AFL is what the AFC was before it merged with the NFL. This was the AFL turned to the AFC, but that's a different thing. But I'm
you
gonna
said
guess
it was Australian rules.
yes, it is. But the AFL is another thing that went away like 60
Guess
years
what?
ago.
I'm just gonna stick with SEC football because I know that. I know that.
Hey, you just
No, BB, I am not drunk. You'll know when I drunk, and when I'm drunk, you won't have to ask.
you're gonna know when I drunk.
Wait,
I use verbs.
sometimes.
Scottish whiskey. Scottish whiskey is good. Rhett and League sing all night long. It is an unlisted video. Nice. I saw them.
Somebody
They
asked
were
what
nice.
your favorite, our Southern Comfort. I care. I love you. Someone asked what our favorite YouTube channels were. So mine is Wolters World.
And mine is simply Jocelyn.
John, Mark, and Jocelyn, my girlfriend and I have an opportunity to go abroad, and we are considering moving to Paris. Would you two ever consider
I'd move right
moving
now.
to Paris?
Burn the house down. We're gone.
I don't want to burn the house down.
Okay, sell the house.
Thank you.
And then go to Paris.
Because then
No
we might be
questions
able
asked.
to rent something.
Yeah, for a month.
So
Yes.
it's been on our list for a long time. At some point, we will live in Paris. I have no doubts about that.
Yeah. And the gals like to point out they weren't in love with Disney Paris. I wasn't either.
I haven't been because I'm not a Disney.
We're not,
girl.
and the kids aren't Disney people, so we're like, yay, my wallet is happy too. Let's see. Oh, Styles. Any recommendations for places in the Midwest of the U.S.? Yes. Minneapolis, Chicago, Milwaukee. It depends how you want to look at the Midwest, but like Memphis, if you consider that Midwest, but sometimes consider the South or Mid-South, that's not bad. There's
Ohio's got
Kansas
some
City. Gotta
Kansas
go.
City.
Kansas City, Missouri. Gotta go. That's awesome.
Tulsa is like an up and coming kind of cool place too. Has got a lot of good stuff to do. So, what's one country you haven't visited but wish to go to someday?
She'll say Bhutan.
Bhutan.
I'll say Israel and Egypt.
And well, I would say Bhutan and then Ethiopia. Yep. Okay.
So hey, what's up? The Habit Master. Oh, not much.
Oh, hey. Nice to
Good to
see
see
you. Okay, RE Hotels. Jasmine, your question got answered by Mark Finley. I hope you see it.
Tosh T, the legend, is here.
Hello, Tosh.
Hey, Tosh. So Tosh says, my only quirky travel tradition is to have a drink at Ernest Hemingway haunts, Paris, Madrid, U.S. Yeah.
That's cool.
And that's the thing is sometimes you just have those little things. Like you find something that means something to you. Like my mom, I want to find the James Bond haunt. You know, Tosh is like, I got to hit up a Hemingway haunt. You know, I don't know. For me, one of the things I always want to do is I want to go out with the boys and have a drink. I'll have a drink. They'll do something. They'll have... Because when we used to live in Portugal, Caleb and I, well, Liam was a baby, but Caleb and I would go to, we had two local cafe. Well, one was a cafe and one was like a mini bar. And I would go down to the bar and Caleb would have his ice cream and I'd have a couple beers. We just would sit there. They'd bring us tremolsos, these little beans and stuff. And we just sit there and talk and eat and just have a little talk. Even he was like 3 and 4 years old. We'd have that. And then there was another place he'd go and I'd have beer and he'd have the Phantasma. So it was like 5 tiny little like popsicles in a bag, and he'd have that, and we just sit there and talk. And so when we travel now, I'm like, hey guys, let's go do that.
It's tradition, and it gives me a chance to shop by myself.
Yes, I was going to add that, but I didn't know if you would need that.
It's fine.
Did I just hear Lionel Richie all night long, all night? If he wouldn't have all those number ones if he had a voice like ours.
I can't sing.
Excuse me.
I sound like a cow in heat.
So I've not been to Brahms. My mom probably has. Let's see.
My background, I'm half Greek.
So Edward Football, when I was a kid, my babysitter's 2 sisters, that's not hard to say, made me a very cool haunted house. It helped that they had props left over from their uncle Stephen King. It was
Shut
cool.
the front door! That is so stinking cool.
I like how it just drops
Holy
that
crap.
one. FYI. That's cool.
Damn, that's cool. Oh my gosh.
Mr. Blonde's going to party. Later, brother.
No, I think he was finishing the song.
Mm.
Fiesta.
Mm.
Okay. Ta ta ta.
Yeah, so Byron, continuing on with the conversation about the budget hotels. Budget hotels can give the best deals. I stayed in a few in the U.S., but stayed at once in the U.K., Ireland, and Germany. They were worth it.
They're always better. Also, like the B&Bs in the UK are very different than B&Bs here in the States. Jasmine, I'm just going to go ahead and assume that you are American. And tell you that like when you stay in B&B here, you expect like it's like a big old house and somebody's like fixed it up to have many rooms to let, whatever. Over there, it's like someone's home and they have a room to let. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But like you get like a really authentic feel. You get an authentic breakfast, and usually those people are like more a part of your experience than at a B&B in the U.S.
Yeah, and that's one thing is my parents and I did a lot of UK B&Bs back in the day when we would do trips there. And our evenings, like we go have dinner, we come back, and the people would be sitting there, and we just sit and talk to them for hours. And I remember there was one, we were in Salzburg and Bath, and we stayed in, and like we just stayed up, and I mean we just stayed up to like, I mean it was like 10:30, and for them that was late. And like we just sat there and drank, and like, oh yeah, it was wonderful, and we just had such a nice time. And then we got to talk about walking in the rain when the rain was going this way. It was a really cool experience.
Troy says, when you travel to Europe, do you plan everything to the detail, or do you plan the basics and wing the rest? So we plan the basics, wing the rest, and often for us, because we've spent so much time in Europe, and Mark lived there for like a decade. All of that together, oftentimes it's getting to a point now where we're like, okay, we're going to go see so-and-so and so-and-so. You know, we plan our trips around our friends, and we'll be like, okay, but that's close to this and we haven't seen it yet. Yeah. So we'll go do that, but we wing 85% now. Yeah.
And so, for example, like I will...
As in, we book hotels, the first one and the last one. And everything in between. Yeah,
or if there's like, oh, we want to be someplace on a weekend, we might book some things, but it's not too far out.
Yeah. I mean, we book like we always book Paris or Rome because
it's just too busy.
Well, and we have specific places that we want to be in some places. You know, like we've stayed in some cities, so many, like Berlin. We stay in one of two places. Generally speaking, although one.
Not staying there anymore.
And not anymore. You know, that's why we don't recommend things.
Because this hotel we had stayed at my parents. So
for like 20 years.
For 20 years, because I moved there in '99, and my parents stayed there. I stayed there like for 20. Not 20. The last year was like what, 14, 15. We stayed there. 13.
I'm gonna say 14, 15.
And it was like, I'm like, nope, no. Luckily, we found another hotel.
Turned into a dump.
It turned into a dump. And luckily, literally a block over, new place. So at least we're in the same neighborhood. There's one I want to talk to. So, Tvrdko 1995, I just got a new job that includes intensive travel in the south and north of the U.S. border. Me, who hates crowds, pray for me. So, Tvrdko, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be tough at first. I'm not going to lie. But what you'll see is over time, it's just like anything, you'll get kind of used to it, so it won't be as tough. But the first few times, whiskey doesn't help. Or it doesn't help.
It doesn't hurt. So I'm going to say this. Right now, not a lot of crowds. So if you are starting the travel now, that'll help ease you into it, because airports and planes and things are obviously a lot easier right now. So maybe it'll also help you ease into it. So by the time you've got your wheels under you and you know what you're doing and you're really confident, then there will be more crowds as time goes on and we deal with COVID better. And so that might help. But we will pray for you. And
it'll be okay.
You'll manage. I'm okay with crowds, except for like under the Eiffel Tower. That one always flips me out. I can't handle it.
Yeah, I'm like,
there are certain ones that like just trip me out. They're just too much. But generally speaking,
anything with a turtleneck will freak her out too when she flies.
I can't fly in a turtleneck.
Anyway, so Jay Red is asking for the third time about Brahms from Oklahoma. No, never been. That was the third time I've answered it too. Boom. So, we've got that. So Michigan, I've been to a few places in Michigan, but Traverse City and Mackinac Island are two places I liked a lot. I want to get back to Detroit because a lot of people have been really asking us to go back and film there because a lot of things have changed over the last 5-10 years. So I think if the border to the U.S. was open, we probably would have done another trip through Canada and going into Canada through Detroit. So sadly, as of right now, we can't. So that's kind of been put onto a hold. Those are the kind of things I have for you. It's Marvel for me, Marvel or DC. That Nick D was asking.
I agree. It's Marvel. Bea just told a scary story about when she was a kid, and I'm not gonna repeat that.
Let's see.
Oh, Dubrovnik is
Good night,
really
James
cool.
Townsend.
Good night.
Dubrovnik is really full.
Yep.
It's just fun.
Eric says, I've never done the European B&Bs, but I'm definitely going to try it. You absolutely should. You'll really, you get a great experience. I love the fact that we end up getting to know like locals and they like hang out and it's very cool. So
let's see.
Okay, so we've got somebody trolling.
Night, Ryan. They've got it. See, they've changed the thing because usually these 3 dots come up and we can like do something with them. But it's only occasionally coming up, and I'll click on it, and it won't give me any options. So thank you to our moderators for helping out. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And Will asked if we're religious. I'm Greek Orthodox, and I am serious about it. So there's that.
So Travis Friesen, what is pop culture like in Europe? So pop culture in Europe is very similar. It is, some things that are BTS is big there too. And back in the day, Katy Perry was big there too. You'll see it's more like 80% of pop culture is kind of the same everywhere, and then it's 20% of the local pop culture. So that's where it can be fun to like see some of the differences.
Really cool. I love that little weird thing. Somebody was from Gato Garabato. Hola in Argentina. So we were just talking about Argentina. And the other day we were talking about that really cool place we stayed when we went to go see at Iguazu.
Yeah.
And the kids, this place it was this cool resort, and we were only there 3 nights? 3 nights. 3 nights. I wish we'd stayed a week because the kids, it reminded me of a more modern version of the resort in Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner.
Dirty
Dancing. So picture that resort, but in Argentina and a little more modern. Like it wasn't the 50s or 60s, whatever. But so much fun. The kids had a ball. They made friends with everybody.
They were because they couldn't say Caleb because the B at the end, so they call him Kaler, which was the name of a goalie for Real Madrid.
Yeah.
So we'd be in our room and we hear Kaler because they didn't know where our room was, so they would just start screaming, like going up and down the resort, yelling Kaler to get him out there to play some more football. So. And
they did. Caleb played until, I'm not kidding, his entire foot was blisters.
Yeah, we had a good time.
I would love to go back there. We should do that and just spend some time. But before the kids grow up, I think they need that when they're kids. Let's go to Argentina.
So Stuart's asked if we've ever been to Andorra. We have not been to Andorra.
Was that like a couple years ago? That was that big trip when we did that crazy Scandinavia, Russia, and then we were in Greece and we went to Spain and we were like, oh, we're gonna get to Andorra, and we were like, oh my god, I'm so freaking tired. And so
even when I go through the videos, like editing the videos, by the time I get to that part of the trip, I'm like, I don't want to make any more videos. I'm switching to a different trip.
You could see but you could see it too, I think, because we had been on the road. That was like an 8-week trip.
Well, that was the summer that I was gone.
The kids and I were gone for 8 weeks.
Yeah, and I had gone to
10.
I was gone 10 out of 13 weeks that summer. That thing there.
Then you came home and then you went somewhere without us.
No, I went to Poland, Italy, and Croatia for 2 weeks by myself.
Right.
And then I came home for a week, and then we did our 8 weeks. Then we were home for a week, and then we went to Connecticut for sailing camp.
Right.
So
Oh my gosh.
It was a crazy thing. So, Wojciech B, why don't you go to Belarus? I have been to Belarus. I have pictures
Mark
from when I was
worked
there.
in Belarus.
Yes.
It was
So
just pre.
But it was pre-Wolters World. So that's why I don't have any videos and stuff like that. Chris, yes, we would recommend Slovenia. It is a hidden gem.
Super underrated, but very, very cool place to be. Absolutely. Hey, I'm just going to give a shout out to Mark Finley and also who else was
Derek,
doing
Mr. Means of Travel.
Yeah, and Michael Mann was doing it. I know you guys, it's gotten a little bit busy with trolls, and so let's just establish some rules. We don't talk about politics on this channel, and we are kind to everyone. And if you can't do that, shut the hell up and get off the channel. That's the way we do things around here.
Anyway.
Mary Ellen, yes, it's called Kellerman's. That's the place. That's it. So
Means of Travel, just a heads up in the chat. If you've asked a question and they've accidentally skipped it, feel free to ask it again. They try to get to everyone. Yeah, so we're not ignoring anybody. It's just how things go by. So thank you, Eliz. We appreciate that. Also, Eliz and Derek are also really wonderful travel bloggers as well. You can check out some of their live feeds when they do theirs. So just head out to Means of Travel. Not Mr. Means of Travel because he's lazy. But Eliz at Means of Travel, she's all about that. So she's got the Hey, Mary Ellen. Tosh T, this is the one I think we should talk about.
Yeah.
Did you read about the tourist in Posano, Italy, at Museo Canova, who sat on a 200-year-old statue and broke off her toes? He took off, but the police tracked him down. Any ugly tourist museum stories? Oh, yes, we have a lot. We have a lot.
So there was the guy, we were at, where were we?
Versailles.
And we were in Versailles.
Because I already know the story you're going to say.
Yes, and my background is in historic preservation, so I understand why the rules are. So she gets
extra pissed.
I get really pissed. Like, I get angry, and
like,
sometimes...
I'm like, oh, I gotta just stretch to hold her back.
I'm like, grasping my own hands, and my knuckles are turning white because I'm going to punch
you're
somebody.
You're grasping
sometimes
like
it's you. So there was this guy, and he kept just, like, touching things. And, you know, in Versailles, it's like, there's... beautiful velvet wallpapers and
behind plexiglass.
Yeah, right. So the plexiglass goes up like really high. Like I couldn't possibly touch the top of it. Granted, I'm 5'3".
Even me. I mean, maybe I could like
maybe touch the. No, maybe not. So there's this
he was
guy,
a few inches taller than
and
me.
he was just a jackass. And he was touching things, reaching over barriers.
No. He was just he was like this. He's like, oh, what is it? He reached in. We're like, oh, let's.
So he reaches up over the plexiglass.
Behind the plexiglass.
And he's like rubbing it. And I'm like, what in the hell is wrong? I'm like, I lost it. I'm like, what is wrong with this man? And he obviously couldn't speak English, which was just fine because I didn't want him to know what was going on. Anyway, so he does it again. We're in...
like every freaking room.
We're in the king's bedroom, and he reaches over the thing when the docent is like, you know, turned and looked the other way. And he reaches over and starts... And so, you know what I did? I fake sneezed all over him in a big way. It was like at you, and I spread some spit because. But
it was just him because he was staying back to feel the stuff.
I had it, and I was, oh, excuse me, what?
Yeah, it didn't help. And also, the guy was a total jerk. Like he was like running over kids. And,
he was pushing, and there were elbows and knees, and his camera bag and whatever. Anyway. So, don't touch shit. Turn off.
Language.
Don't touch stuff. Don't use flashes. Oh my god. So
yeah, I gotta be careful.
One camera flash. I know it happens sometimes and it's accidental, but one camera flash is equivalent to something like 7 years of sunlight. I think I don't remember the exact stuff anymore, but. That does serious damage to art, and these things are unique, and it makes me angry, so don't do it.
Yeah, so Tosh, bringing in the good question. Also, I want to give a shout out to Tosh T, because Tosh T puts in some really wonderful, poignant, and helpful comments on my Professor Wolters channel. From his experiences, and I use it in my classes, and my students are like, that guy's got some good stuff. I'm like, I know, yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. So
Tosh also has Tosh also we play a game, Who is Tosh T? Because Tosh has been rather
Tosh has been with us for a long
an
time.
enigma for about 10
He
years.
remembers when I was only partially bald.
But we don't know it.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have the scoop or can I use my hands?
Here-
It's just us.
Hey,
We're
guys, you know where the
quarantining
scoop
together.
is? Where's the scoop?
So we're quarantining together. I can use my hands.
Yeah, that's
Yeah?
right. So, Greg, I have been to Montenegro. Jocelyn hasn't. That is actually...
No, I haven't.
I
And that's
just
kind of
said
that's
you
kind
have.
of a stick for me.
Anyway, I had planned... one of the plans for next summer, because we have a wedding in Italy we got to go to, was to get down there and get them to, like, get the kids and Jocelyn through all of, former Yugoslavia, and get through Albania, Macedonia, down through there, also get Romania, Bulgaria. So we're going to try to get like the southeast part of Europe. So there's that. But there was another question out there. Travels.
Oh, whose question were you just answering?
Well, it was Greg McClellan.
Greg. So right under that, Troy says, "Have you two spent any time in the Balkans, Croatia, Macedonia, etc.? If so, do you have any videos? This is my next place I want to visit. This one scares me because I served there as a soldier. So thank you for serving." We've been to Croatia.
I've been through a lot of Croatia. You won't have any problems there. The animosity you're going to see there is between the Croatians and the Serbians. That's where you're going to see more stuff, or other places with Serbian things. You probably won't have any trouble. I probably wouldn't mention that you served there. I do remember when I was doing my master's, I had a buddy of mine from Serbia who would he'd be like, "F you, because we didn't have electricity in the basketball courts." But he wasn't like mad about it. He's like, "But I understand what we did, because Slobodan wasn't really a good dude." So it was an interesting time. So, but yeah, no, like it's a very different thing. It's kind of like you'll have people now, like my parents' age, they're like scared to go to Vietnam. It's like it was a war thing for them back in the day, and now they go and you see that hey, they're one of our biggest friends. And actually, Serbia is probably one of the top 3 countries people ask us to go to. So that was one of the things we would go head back. But like Croatia, Slovenia, if you get through that, that's definitely one. No worries there, so you'll be good. So,
It's not as good if you put the bitters in last. Like, I really like to put...
Reconnection successful.
That's weird. Damn, so what happens?
Anybody? Hello?
And the dog's asking to go potty.
Hello?
What's up outside?
Are we back? Is anything there? Are we back? Oh, you're still there. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. Yeah. But anyway, if I'm a tourist, though, if I'm looking at going to the former Yugoslavia, Croatia would be 1, Slovenia would be 2 for the places to go, just because the number of things you can do and see. And we have plenty of videos. We have plenty of videos on Croatia. I've got all those out. My Slovenia videos, because my drive crashed, I have the me talking part for like the don'ts of Slovenia. What to know before you go to Slovenia. The don'ts of Ljubljana, but I don't have the B-roll. So when I get that back into that. Yeah, Dan, we'll have to go back and help out. So there is that. Hey, Toddy D, good to have you here. Logan, glad you can make it. Giselle says hello, Jocelyn.
Hey!
Yeah, we survived.
I know, I said hi to her a minute ago.
Oh, we're back. Cool. Press refresh. We're here. Hey, Kate. I'm glad you're here too. So, Chris Asher, do you have any must-dos in Slovenia? Slovenia is so small, you can base yourself in one spot and go all over the place. But you have the caves, you got Lake Bled, you got Ljubljana to go see, and you can see pretty much everything in like 5 days, no problem, and really relax. But like, what's cool is it's still people are like, what's a hidden gem here? But it's still a hidden gem because not a lot of people go there because it's kind of like it's not an easy one to get to. Like it's kind of like going to Trieste, which used to be part of Slovenia. Trieste in Italy, it's like, it's kind of like end of the road. Like I have to make a point to go there. It's not like passing through to some other place. So a lot of people don't go there, but it is well worth it.
Mr. Batman says, I'm still waiting for Venezuela to get better. I really want to travel there one day. So do we. Caleb's godfather is actually Venezuelan, and we're crossing our fingers that we can all go, so we can go with his godparents and have a grand old time with family and stuff. So someone said that we needed to go to Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. We have videos on them. Mark used to live in Lithuania,
3.5 years.
We have some great friends there who just, I say
Not
just had a baby, but she's like a year
wild.
old.
She was painting and stuff. She's like a year and a half
like
now.
a year and a half, and we haven't seen her because they got pregnant not too long after we were there when I thought I was pregnant, but really I was just drunk.
No, you were hungover. You were hungover.
I think I was drunk too.
Maybe. It might have still been a little bit
Don't drink with Lithuanians.
Yeah, well, yeah. Homemade vodka is not good for you.
It was bad.
So, Tara, our dog is Brigadier, named after Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart from Doctor Who. So, he's Brigadier Lethbridge Wolters. Let's see. So, Anderson, we have not been to the Azores. My PhD coordinator was from there, but we have not been. Let's see. Hi, Carmen. Good to see you. And Dargan Morrison in South Kakalaki. And Danielle in Australia. Nice, nice. Let's see. Podcast. So the podcast stuff. I have all the stuff. We have all the equipment for the podcast things, but since the entire travel industry is completely destroyed right now, we're focusing on a few other things first. I might be doing some things for some more business videos for some stuff, and then Simply Jocelyn channel, we're working on that right now. But once we can start traveling again, then the podcast will be coming out.
Hey Carmen, nice to see you. I have two, so don't move it.
I know. I got that.
Shut up, Mark. Everybody take a drink. Gabby wants to know if you have any must-do-sees for Sweden and Denmark. What do you have to say to Gabby, dear?
Sorry, Gabby, that I tried to talk out loud when Jocelyn was talking. I'll never do it again.
I love you. Did you tell her?
I don't know, because you had your hands over my ears. So, acquire plan to tour Denmark and Sweden this past year. Cool. But that sucks.
COVID thing.
We hope to reschedule for next summer. What are your must-do-sees? Okay, so Denmark and Sweden actually are they're actually really kind of different. The Swedes are much more open. The Danes, we have videos on both that'll really help you out. The Danes don't care about anybody else because, why would I care about you? Because you're not part of my life. And they don't mean it in a bad way. They're efficient in that. But if you're cool with that, it's actually a really great place to visit. We were looking to go there for our first, a spring trip next year is heading to Denmark, so we can do that. Briggs here, by the way.
The dog just...
I see Liam did not follow his rules. So, hi, Brig. Yes, I'm
okay.
Here.
What was the other one? Oh, would you guys recommend Costa Rica? Absolutely. We had such a great time in Costa Rica. The children loved it. We took cooking classes. We went ziplining. We did hanging bridge tours. They are so prepared for tourists. It's not even funny. So as soon as you're able to go to Costa Rica, you should go to Costa Rica because it's great. And I'm going to say this, when you do stuff, be particular about the tours that you pick. If you do, because we hired guides here and there, but did we use Southern Explorations for that?
No, that was Ecuador.
That was Ecuador. I don't remember who we used.
We used the Costa Rica people. I don't know what their company name. They were fine.
Yeah, but the thing is, what was great is that
you stink.
But I'm just a real cute baby. It's not really small baby though.
Yes.
So when we for instance, when we went ziplining, it was me and Caleb. It was Caleb and me.
Because Liam's too little and I'm too big.
And there were 6 other people. There were just 8 of us. And we went all through this huge forest canopy. It was really great. But everyone else I met were like, oh yeah, we went to this thing. And it was like herding cattle, but on zip lines. And, that's what they said. There was just tons and tons of people. So we didn't pay any more. In talking to them, we didn't pay any more than they did. I just picked a smaller group. So for me, that's kind of the right way to do it. Oh, what am I doing? We're not playing ball in the house. I'm sorry. We're just no ball. Come.
Anyway, let's see. So someone was asking if we would go to small nations. Oh, Mr. Bond, will you go to small nations like Palua or Nauru or Tuvalu? Yeah.
Tuvalu.
Yeah, Tuvalu. Yes, we would go to those places, no problem. Those are some of the things we're looking at. We just got to get there, and we can't go anywhere now, so it's all kind of up in the air. But we will. BB Sony Sardinia is amazing. I actually need to get there. I really enjoyed my time in Sicily. It was a very different Italy experience if you're going to go, but well worth it. Logan Adams, do you guys have a live stream schedule? So we did have our usual stuff through April and May. Then the summer, kind of like everyone's doing their own thing. Right now, we have a members and like YouTube members and patrons only live feed on Saturday. And then at the end of the month on Jocelyn's Simply Jocelyn channel, I think it's on the 25th. I don't have my phone. Liam has it. We'll have a live feed on Jocelyn's channel, but I'll announce it on Wolters World too. So we'll have that. So what we're trying to do is at least one live feed on Wolters World for everybody, one live feed on Jocelyn's for everybody, and then a patrons or members. Like you see the people with like the green names or stuff like that, or the science stuff. They're
patrons and members have their own. We do once a month with them live, and it's a much smaller stream, and it's really fun. Also, most of our members and patrons have become friends with one another.
Yeah, the superheroes are super awesome.
They're really great. They have their own Facebook page that we've set up for them, and we get on now and again. But they're like these. They have their own community, and it's a awesome, beautiful thing, and I love them.
I felt bad. I wrote the other day because I've been so swamped. So for someone who's asking, how do you guys travel so much, and how do you pay for all this? So I do have a day job. I'm a professor, and since with all the COVID stuff, I'm an academic director as well, and so we're trying to figure out how do we get to have some kind of make sure the students feel like they're a part of something, not
have
just
some normalcy.
Yeah, so we're trying to plan those things. I've been working on a lot of that stuff. Today at work, I was there for 2 hours filming videos, not Wolters World videos, but videos for the university, for the incoming students, so they know, like, hey, we're here for you. I'm one of the people you're going to see. And basically I went around to every single, we had you enter this door, exit that door. There's a picture of me, like, pointing, like, all their kind of Instagram stuff they would need for that. We were doing all those things just to be able to help students and stuff. So we've been working on those things. So it's been a bit crazy, but we will have more stuff. So there's at least 3 interactions a month on one of our channels, and probably going into the fall, there'll also be multiple things on the Professor Wolters channel. So we have a lot of different ways to come chat. So there's that.
Chris Bates says, I love Costa Rica. The funny thing is, there's so many Americans in the city that it feels like Los Angeles. I'd say you're right. That's why we got into some of smaller towns and things. Actually, my uncle, it's my dad's cousin, but he has a house down there, and I think next time we're gonna go to Uncle Dan's and stay. Uncle Dan is the most intense, amazing person you have ever met in your life. Like, I mean,
yes,
my God, he is just like, I've never met a man more full of life than Dan.
He is he's full of stuff.
He is full of some
so
stuff.
Chris, thank you. I'm glad you love our shows. That's really nice of you. I appreciate it. So right with hello. When traveling alone to Italy, do you think it's safe to do a tour group? Yeah, you'll be fine, and you can travel Italy by yourself too.
He or she said, do you think it's safer to do a tour group? Listen, you don't need to have a tour group in Italy. Italy is just fine. It is well set up for tourists. The worst thing that happens, generally speaking, in Italy is, pickpockets and the like. But have your eyes. In Greek, we say "tuna masketis." No, that's not what we say.
No, they did not say that. That is the wrong
thing. Your eyes so in front and in back, and just pay attention to what's going on around you. So do that. You'll be fine.
So Definitely Lover Rules Rock, thank you very much for the super chat. We appreciate it. Sorry if I missed it earlier. So question is, are Portugal and Spain still as affordable as they used to be? So Portugal is not as affordable as it used to be. In Lisbon, and the Algarve. The rest of Portugal is still pretty affordable, but
Mhm.
Lisbon has really gotten driven up from winning all the awards for weekend getaways, like best places in Europe and stuff.
It's still cheaper than like Paris.
Yeah, it's still cheaper than Madrid and stuff like that, but it's not cheap like it used to be. Like that's why I'm like, go to Évora, go to Guimarães, go to Braga, go to Porto. You got a lot of other things you go. Yeah, you can go there to save some money. Spain still is affordable, and I think both those places are going to be really affordable after all this because their economies are so much based on tourism.
We should move
and they've
back
been
to Lisbon.
slammed, so you got to be careful with that.
I like it there.
Let's see.
Okay, I'm tipsy now.
Yes. So, any cool dip? It asked us before. Sorry, I didn't get to that. Random question: can we use global entry Nexus to enter Mexico? No, you can't because that's only for entering in the U.S. So. As far as I know, you cannot.
He is a good dog.
So, yes, Mr. Means to Travel. Derek is very true. Both the Danes and the Dutch are very pragmatic. That is the best way.
Pragmatic is a very good.
The word is a great word to say. So, Scorpio Sue, what small cities do you recommend in Italy? Are there any that are musts you haven't been to? Well, not that I haven't been to, but like smaller cities like Ravenna is definitely worth going to. There's a lot of like Trento, and Bolzano. Like when you're taking the train up into Austria, it's like Austria, but they speak Italian. It's really kind of a cool thing to check out.
Chris Asher says, "What's the best way to get from Salzburg to Ljubljana with a large group by train?" And no, but you can't do that, can you?
No, with a large group.
Well, hang on.
You could if you have. I mean,
that's quite a few switches, I'm sure.
You can hire your own bus to take you, but I would take the train to get closer to the border and then have somebody do that. There is a train that goes. You'd have to switch a few times, but you can do it. I take students to Europe, and we have sometimes it's like we could do the planes, we could do the trains, or we just hire the bus and everything's together. And when we hired a bus, we had a group of 15 students and 3 professors. It was significantly cheaper just to hire a bus than it was to do.
Can I just say this? I'm going to guess that most. Okay, fine.
I'm listening. My eye contact's hurting me. Answer. Help them out.
So I'm going to guess that Chris Asher isn't taking 25 people like you.
He
do.
says large group.
I know, but for most travelers,
it could be a church group. It could be the entire congregation.
Shut up, Mark.
400 people.
Shut up, Mark.
You might want more than one bus. Probably like 10. Also, if you hire buses in Europe, they have regulations. So they can only drive for like 2.5 hours straight, and they have to
take it out for coffee,
like you. Suggest for Salzburg. Just know there's a lot of Mozart stuff there. There's a lot of things to see. I've actually done the Sound of Music tour. Actually, was kind of interesting. So there's that. Hey, Shani Swabi, good to see you on here. Let's see.
John says, thanks for answering my question on living in Paris. We currently live in New York City on the UWS.
Upper side.
Yes. And are considering arrondissement 4, 6, and 10. What would be your top 3 arrondissement? The 18th, because our kids have grown up in there. I mean, we have stayed since we have been dating. We've only ever stayed in Montmartre.
Well, there's a couple times we had to stay but that was
one time.
Yeah,
one time we had to stay outside of that because our flights were late. Blah blah blah. We missed trains. There was like all this brouhaha. It was us and our friends that we were traveling with. So family of 4, family of 3, and to be at the right train station early in the morning, we had to stay outside of our normal 18th, and every flipping thing that could go wrong went wrong. We got caught in the middle of a protest, which is fine. We've been through them before. It's a little disconcerting when you have children. Our room was not ready for 8 hours. Then we got into the second room and it wasn't cleaned. And
it's like one of those did we walk into a murder scene or
there was
a
trash spilling everywhere.
Thing?
Well, that could have been it.
the guy was very apologetic, and he was pissed because the cleaning staff. We could hear him yelling. I was like, "What the hell? This should have been cleaned."
It was really bad.
I waited 8 hours for a dirty room.
So here's the deal, John. The only time we haven't stayed in Walmart, everything went to hell. So that's the only place I'm staying because that's where I belong.
Yeah, but I would definitely say, because if you're going to be moving there...
But you know what? That's the thing is, I don't know that I'd live there. I would go around and spend some time, because actually down the hill...
look for a place that has a park relatively nearby, even if you don't have kids, just to be able, just to have a place so you can go for a run in the morning, because you can go and do runs on the street, but having the park to run in a big city, as you know, in the Upper West Side, it just makes life so much easier.
Like Parc Monceau is my favorite. I could spend days in there, and I wouldn't mind living near that. But the great thing about Paris is that there is a metro stop within half a kilometer of everywhere. And you can get around really easily. So based upon where you work and your travel time, and if you guys have children or you plan to have children there, you should probably think about schools and what type of schools. So take those things into consideration too.
So, Gabby, I'm glad we could answer your questions. I'm glad we can help you inspire you. That's really cool. And Bernardian, a fellow academic and traveler here. Enjoy the videos. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Lori says, an out-of-the-way suggestion, visiting the Dolomite Mountains in Italy.
Yeah, I've done it a few times.
Yeah, and actually, Nando's mom, or Nando's stepdad, has, they have a little cabin. We say house, but we haven't been there. Have you been there?
I've never been
there. I have a
so
feeling.
Who knows what it is?
I don't know. That's anyway.
It could be a chalet. No. It's not a chalet.
Mark teaches marketing, and yes. D. Newman, we're currently vacationing in the U.S. Virgin Islands right now. Flying in wasn't an issue, and everyone was considerate, wearing masks. But a lot of tourist places are closed. Just wanted to pass that along. Thank you for that. Yeah. I can't believe you're down there at this time of the year because August is a must. If y'all know that there's a poem about hurricane season, June it's soon, July it's nigh, August is a must, September is one to remember. I forgot what October is.
October still sucks. November it's usually good. There you go.
Like that.
You're welcome. Let's see. Sue, hey from Portugal. I saw Wolters World's channel a few years ago about Portugal. Then we moved to Portugal. It's the best decision. That is awesome to hear, Sue. I'm glad we could help out. I'm jealous that you're living there. That is really nice.
I enjoyed our days there. Our years.
Do you ever have internet? I don't even know what that means. Amadir, you were on here? I didn't even notice. Boa noite, Giro.
Boa noite, Giro. Beijo. Mwah. E Berta. Mwah. Amo.
So Liz was saying the 670 is much like I said, but it's not always in the budget. That's one of those things because you're going to be spending for the going back to that one.
Yeah.
Mr. Blonde, I do not use the dark mode at YouTube. I've never liked the dark modes on Gmail or anything though. So I don't know why. Just not. I mean, I think it would look cool. But I'm like, I'm fine with the old way. So there's that. Let's hit the road, Jack. I checked out some of your China videos. Thanks for telling me about those. Glad we could. They're a little bit older, but I still think they're really helpful. And that's the thing is, we try to make our videos so they're going to be helpful no matter when you go. Because some people are like, I've gotten some really nasty comments that because we filmed all these videos when we travel, and they're like, why aren't you talking about masks? Why aren't you talking about this stuff? I'm like, well, I filmed the video last October, and frankly, eventually we'll be back to normal, and it doesn't matter if you have a mask or not. These are the sites you want to see. So we try to keep it as yearly as possible, so it can be helpful anytime. So.
Mr. Blunt says, I have to thank you, Jocelyn, for making me love dim sum. That's awesome. I have to thank Mark's friend Dave for making me love dim sum in London. Oh my gosh. So cool.
Eric F. Rago Sanchez, Walters Road Rules. Thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate that. BB Solo's in the 7th on Dismal. Nice. Nice.
So there was someone down there by Giro that I wanted to answer, but I don't know.
Well, you can always ask your question again if we messed it. I'm
We
sorry.
sound by Giros.
So Jose Forreston, please come and visit us here in the Marshall Islands. We need more people like you guys tell everyone about our culture and country. I would love to come down. That's one of those places that
I've
we're
been
hoping
planning
to get to.
this crazy trip, and one of the big stops is the Marshall Islands, so cross our fingers it'll happen. So Logan says, Jocelyn, have you ever felt unsafe or not welcome because of your gender in certain countries? If so, does this strongly affect your travel experience, and would you go back? So, the one time, well, there have been a couple of times where people are just,
Smarmy.
well, there's smarmy times. I can handle smarmy a lot better than I can handle that thing where they talk around me or over me. That pisses me off. I have a really hard time with that. But I also understand that not every culture is American where, I get to have an equal say, or at least a better say. But there was a day in Morocco, and I'm not going to say it was the entire time we were in Morocco, because generally speaking, I had a great time and didn't have any issues. But there was a day in Morocco where I was livid by the end of the night.
The 5 Love and Hates of Marrakesh. I haven't put the video yet, but she has the 5th hate, and I just let her do it. And I know I'm worried to put it out because the hate that she will get because she points this out.
2 tears in a bucket, man.
Yeah.
It's honest. I was treated very badly by several men, and that's just what it is.
And it wasn't like I was there. It would be like offhand comments here, or I'm with the kids over here, then something would be said to her over there.
Or like when we were buying things, and y'all, my dad, my entire family almost is in the car business. I can barter. I can not barter, but
well, in China, anybody can barter, and they were impressed with her skills in China.
So many
I gotta answer that question,
people.
so.
Yes, so many people asked me. So anyway, but when it came time to buy, they said, "You stay with the children. We men, we do the business. You stay over here." And I was like,
I'm like, ugh.
But that's not how we work. And they were like, "You're the woman. You stay with the children."
And they were
I was
straight
like,
up not negotiating with her. There was no negotiation. It's like, that's the price, woman. Like with the lamp and stuff.
And I went to him, with the lamp. And I went to him and I was like, "Listen, this is the price they're giving me. This is the price we should pay. You can go up to this amount." And I gave him all that, and he went back and did it for me. But the fact that I had to go to my husband, like the little wife, pissed me off.
Yes.
As an American. However, that was one day. Every other day in Morocco was not like that. And I was happy and comfortable and had a great time. So it was just one day, and I encountered 2 really ugly men in businesses. So that is what it is. That's it.
So the Geo Scholar, I know your super chat went by. I'm sorry I missed it earlier.
Thank
and the
you
question
for
is,
your
thank you
chat.
very much for the super chat. How long do you think it will be before Americans are allowed to travel to places like Portugal and other EU countries? Honestly, I'm going to guess, well, it depends how you look at it. Do you mean travel without quarantining, or do you mean travel with quarantine? I could see if we could get the numbers in the U.S. back to where we were like in May, I could see them putting us on you can come, but you need to take a test, prove this, and quarantine for 2 weeks. So you're going to need to do a longer vacation because 2 weeks it might be stuck in a hotel room or a Airbnb or something like that. But for example, for me, when I finally started really like seeing how things have turned, because right now Europe is starting to have another wave of it coming through as well. And your insurance policies will not cover you because this is a known commodity and a pandemic, and so you're not going to get out for that. And cancel for no reason stuff. A lot of places aren't even doing that anymore. So you got to realize that what's my plan? Because hey, if you got that fever, they might not let you back on the plane to go home. So you have to really think about this. But I think what will probably happen is I would think towards early winter, like Christmas, maybe we can, November we can go. I don't think it's going to be because their rules is the country has to have European Union numbers are lower, and the U.S. is so far above the European Union right now that it's going to be a bit, and then they're going to have to be at 3 weeks to make sure it stays that point, and then they might reevaluate, because Europe is reevaluating every 2 weeks when it comes to COVID stuff. So, like, for me, that's why when I was planning the next few years of travel, like my can I get the boys going everywhere? My first European thing I really planned for us was for March, just because you don't know. But I think it'll be open up before then. So I hope that helps. I don't know if that helps very much, GeoScholar. So, but thank you for the super chat, my friend.
Jiro says that I need to drink a kaipi.
No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't.
Now.
No, you're done. Why don't you just? I'll just drink this one for you.
Yeah, just give me the cherry.
Andy says you should do a German beer Friday or whiskey on Monday the 13th.
Sure, Monday the 13th. That's got to be worse than Friday the 13th.
No, I think this entire year has been Monday the 13th, to be honest.
Right.
Mark and Joe, if you could live anywhere in Europe, where would you go? Paris. Probably.
First.
Vicenza, because of
Vicenza
friends.
Second.
I actually like Rome a lot because I want a bigger
like
city.
Rome too.
But then there's also I could go for a smaller place like Ravenna in Italy is nice. I go back to Lisbon.
Oh, dumbass!
What?
Are you not gonna move to Greece with me ever? That's why we got married.
Well,
that's how this started.
My whole thing with Greece is that then you would say, and then there's the Greece place we would obviously move to first, but you didn't come in because you've had too many cherries from your drinks. Hanya's not bad. I like that.
Hanya, I could do.
But we're not in the summer house. Oh my god.
That's not in Hanya. That's over near
Heraklion. I know, but oh my gosh, it was so hot. Let's see.
I think I'm.
Yes, GeoScholar, this has been a nightmare year. Yes, you're done drinking tonight.
I am. I have water over here. I just started.
Tosh G uploaded, talking about the Morocco video. That's what made your older videos especially fantastic. You were never worried about giving opinions, even when they ruffled some feathers. Love the super nice videos as well. Yeah. Well, the thing is now it's getting harder to find stuff that really annoys me. Because back then, now that I've traveled so much, I'm like, that's just the culture. Sometimes it's hard to do. That's why it's funny because the love and the hates, you could actually I could get into it, but then we got into the don'ts, and it's kind of the shocks are funny, right? I'm trying to be funny. I'm trying to get fun culture stuff. The don'ts is more. It's kind of, the don'ts have become almost what to know before you go, and some things to watch out for. So that might have some serious stuff in there. And I usually put the really the heavy stuff I'll put towards the end. Because if I put the heavy stuff too soon, we get a lot of downvotes and people get pissed off, and then YouTube is we've had people complain, so we have to do that. So those things, but yeah, no, the 511 hates or Marrakesh will have that out there too. So, but thanks for pointing that out, Tosh. Appreciate it, buddy.
I agree with everything you just said too. Charles says, went to Munich for Christmas and your video was perfect. Thank you. I'm glad. I know that Mark, his Christmas stuff for Germany is really good. Bubba Smartin says, we're holding out.
Bubba! Yep. What's up, brother?
We're holding out in another 2 weeks, but probably going to reschedule our Greece trip for late April, early May. Your thoughts on that time of year? So, go. I know that well, no, great time to go, but it may end up being more expensive because of Easter. So, Greek Americans go back for Pascha, for Easter often, and it'll be more expensive. However, you will never find a more authentic Greek moment than spending Easter in Greece. Actually, I've never done it, but it is that's one of my bucket list items is to be in Greece for Pascha. And
noted.
I have funny bucket list items. I think that it will be overwhelmingly real, and I think you should do that if you can do it. But my hesitation in that is that you're going to pay a premium for all of that. However, your flights, if they just can be switched, do it now, because you need to do it now.
Yeah. So a few things. Cambodia is outstanding. Trophius was there in Cambodia. Traveled with my wife
Oh,
in 2018.
cool.
Wonderful people, fantastic culture and food. Angkor beer. I will try it. Don't you worry. That is Cambodia, like Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam. That's all part of a future trip we have. I actually had that scheduled for 2022 when we have time to do that. So it was. If we
Lord
can start
only
traveling,
knows.
yeah. Let's see. Some other things. There's one thing that Derek and Liz said, but I don't know where it is. I've lost it. Anyway, yeah, traveling on a shoestring. Your cruise to New Zealand booked for October. Yeah, I'm glad you're not holding your breath.
Because you die
no,
from holding your breath
too long. Yeah, there's a cruise that went and they'd had a lot of COVID and stuff, and I've had talks with some places that were like, hey, you could put something together and we could do the testing and you can set that up. And I'm like, yeah, we could, but I just don't feel comfortable doing that right now. So that was one thing.
Carmen says, I'm tired of being at home.
Yes.
I've been home since mid-February. At least we've been on one road trip. And you know what? I feel like that road trip was going just a really long drive to home. Because
no, it was just a long drive to a beach apartment.
Another home.
Just going there to there. Yeah.
I mean, we did have the beach apartment, but it was like another home for me because it was Savannah, and that's what it feels like now.
Yeah.
So.
Let's see.
What were the new? Tara asks, what were the new trips you had planned for this year that we had to cancel?
So, just let me take this one because you've been drinking too much. So there was Cayman Islands. That was in March. April, we were going to use miles and do a you guys choose where we go. It's like, hey, look, I have miles. Here's the destination we can go with our miles this weekend. Where do you want us to go? The two of us would have gone for a weekend in April to some place, probably Caribbean or Central America or Northern South America, whatever. Someplace we could go around in the Western Hemisphere. And so there was that one. Then May, there was Mexico City I was going to go to for VidCon Mexico. That got canceled. Then we had I was going to be teaching in Vienna, and then from Vienna we were going to do some trips there. Start off in Switzerland before that, Turkey, Ethiopia, Israel, Italy for a wedding. All that got canceled. Then we also were going to go out to the East Coast and do the sailing camp for Caleb, and that got canceled. And then I was supposed to go to France and Germany with my mom for some the ancestry genealogy stuff. That's been canceled. We were going to go to Ireland in October. That got canceled. Justin still has tickets for England, but that'll probably get canceled.
Can we stop? Because I'm getting depressed.
I know. So, and there's even more.
England hasn't been canceled yet. It's still on my Delta app.
Yeah, it hasn't been canceled.
I'm going to go there. I'm going to sit in a damn hotel room for the 12 days I have booked. So, Mr. Blonde, what's your 90s guilty pleasure song? I might be Barbie Girl.
I like that one. See,
Barbie, but
I like mine is Saturday Night by Wigfield. That is mine. That's mine right there. Oh, champagne sumo, ouzo time. We drank all the drinks.
The only time I drink ouzo is at weddings and funerals. And hello, Viso. Viso's travel, friend of Darian, and just wanted to say hello to you.
Hey, good to see you.
Yeah. So, there was a question, and it flew by. Dagnabbit.
Oh, wow. Maddie Alsop, thank you very much for the super chat. My goodness. That's the biggest one we've ever had.
It really is.
10 years on here. Wow. Your videos are priceless. Thank you very much. We relied on you both not only for comfortable shoes, that's you, and what to wear,
yay,
but what to see and what to expect. Thank you for getting us outside of our comfort zone and inspiring me to get my PhD and become a professor.
Oh
that's
my God,
awesome, Maddie.
That's amazing.
That is some awesome compliments. Thank you so much.
Very cool. Wow.
That's cool. That's you, not me.
No, that's professor.
That was a lot. No, she's like, oh yeah, the PhD.
Clothes.
The PhD thing was the shoes, clothes, where to go. That's all you.
Honey, that's amazing. That's.
It was the vacation time we get that got the PhD. That's what it's about. I know it's that whole I get all the school holidays off.
Oh my goodness.
Don't cry for Wolters for Argentina. Oh, that's funny.
Very cool. That's very cool.
Yes, they're talking about the Morocco stuff. Yeah.
Somebody just asked that question again about getting people from Salzburg to Ljubljana. We answered that question earlier. So when
hire a bus.
Yeah, and when this is over, you can go back and zoom through and find it.
Yeah. So, Scammer Police, have you ever been to Cabo Verde? No, I haven't, sadly. Or Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic will probably be maybe next February. That's why I penciled in maybe thing for that. We haven't been there yet.
Brian Boyd had chicken pizza last week.
Hey, all I'm going to say is one of the things that I really got into in that early part of...
Chicken pizza.
Well, there's that. But when we had all the canned food, in March and April, I was making barbecue chicken pizza. So I would take a flour tortilla, put barbecue sauce on it, some mozzarella cheese, and then the canned chicken on there, and have my barbecue chicken pizza. Even the kids liked it. Just saying.
I
would have been a great college student if I would have eaten like that when it was. But I lived in...
What did you eat when you were in college?
Well, I lived in a fraternity house, so we had
you had
food.
to cook.
Cook. Yeah. Well, Shree was awesome, but I mean, come on.
She is awesome.
She is awesome.
We've run into her a few times.
Yeah, Shree is awesome. Yeah. But yeah, there were Okay. So anyway, cool. Well, thank you very much, Maddie. That is really nice, and I'm so glad. That is like the awesomest compliment.
And you know what? I'm really pleased that you liked my comfortable shoes and clothing stuff, because we had to turn the comments off on my shoes video because people are so mean to me.
Well, I turned it back on, but yeah.
Oh, you did?
Well, and this is one of the things, for anyone that's starting YouTube videos, this thing I think, now that
you gotta have a thick skin.
Yeah, and it took Joss a long time. That's why she did not start her own channel for a long time, because she would get you get really upset. I'm like, you gotta be upset. And the thing is, people are mean to me, but how they're like, if it's a scale of 1 to 10, I'm like, they're like a 3 mean to me. They're like an 8 mean to her. And I really feel bad for female YouTubers out there because of all the horrible comments they get and stuff. I mean, it's just bad. I mean, I understand why there's a lot more male YouTubers than female YouTubers, because all the hate and all the inappropriate stuff they get. So shout out to like people like Means to Dravo, Liz, who's out there making videos, and Jocelyn making videos, Gallivanting Gals,
and Tanya
Tanya, for me,
there are so many of us out there that you just can't read the comments after the first day or two. You know that they're your fans and the people who support you are watching and they're writing, and then after that, I don't look back, because when I do, there are people who are just mean
and there's people that just go on there just to be mean. You're like, come on, like there's one that will just because the thing is, I'll be given the case. You're like, oh, come on, dude, and I'll go look on their YouTube channel. I'm like, oh, all you do is be mean.
They just troll. I mean, it's what it is. But anyway, so
oh, Divisa Spela, have fun in Tenerife on Saturday. Lucky person.
Cool.
I'm sorry. Mr. Blotto, Saturday night is, yes, it is Saturday night, and but we can't sing it because we might get banned by YouTube, because they don't like when people sing on their stuff unless the other people get their money. It's really interesting how that works. Let's see. Kansas Girl Abroad. We have not been to Nepal, but that's one of those things we would like to do one day.
Nepal and Bhutan will probably go hand in hand.
But the boys got to be older, so.
Yeah.
So
by then we'll be too old.
Yeah. Well, she wants to trekking to Everest Base Camp. Do you have any tips about trekking companies? I do not. For there, I do not, and I don't have. There's a couple people I've worked with.
Done it.
Yeah, but
Seabass
has. And there was another. What was her name? I did a video on basic trekking, and she's done some stuff, but her preparation. I don't know. I wouldn't feel comfortable sending someone that follows us necessarily to listen to all that. So, but the thing is, everything you're going to do for Everest is going to be pricey, because there's so many tourists that go there, and the demand's so high, and then people just pay it because it's that. So you're not going to find, and you don't want to do the lowest price one when you're doing that, because it's not a joke when you're doing those things. So, but you know that. So. Yeah.
Hello, Simon in Dublin. It's mighty early in the morning for you.
Yeah, Derek's saying, hey, let's hang out. Jocelyn will be in Bristol or Andorra and wherever. Yeah, hopefully we can get something out there. So
yeah, let's talk about, like, where's the best place to, I think that Means to Travel actually had asked that. I don't know if it was Liz or Derek. that had asked where would be a good base camp thing. If you were going to the UK as
you did.
U.S. citizens, I saw it go by, and I drank the whiskey. So personally, what I would like to do, if I had like 2 months, which would be kind of 2 to 3 months is my vision for my family. Stop it, Mark.
What? I was just stretching.
You had the ginger ale. I did not. I had the bitters in the little tiny thing. So anyway, Derek,
isn't that us?
Shut up, Mark. Shut up. So Derek, I'm gonna say pick a city like Brighton or Bath down in southerly part, and then pick something in the Cotswolds, and then pick something a bit further north, right? So like pick. Because
we could tell you what our trip was going to be, which was exactly that.
Well, yeah, except that I wanted to drive directly from Heathrow to Wales. And by the way, Wales is sorely missed by people. I loved our time in Wales, and I really want to go back. And I think you guys would really enjoy exploring Brecon Beacons and Snowdonia and all of that. It's great. And you could get some great, just incredible footage. But I would pick southerly Middle England, North England, or southerly Scotland, and then, but you might want to do this the other way around, because if you guys do this soon, you want to start in the north and head down to avoid the weather. So there you go.
All right, so we got stuck there for a bit. So there's a bunch here I want to go through really quickly.
Okay.
So I have not been to the Krullo Museum for the Van Gogh collection there, but we've been to the Van Gogh Museum, and I've seen a lot of his work over the years. Cool. We have 5. Mark Viewer asked you to go online. They actually have, and I am all online this semester. We have considered going and doing that, unfortunately, because Liam's passport expires in February, and we can't get him a new one, so they won't let him in without less than 6 months. So we're kind of looking at maybe doing some U.S.-based stuff over there. But my university this week let me know that I will need to do some face-to-face stuff with students, which is fine. If you're doing social distancing, I want to make sure the students feel like they're a part of it. So we're going to figure out some stuff, but I'm going to be doing a lot of online things to integrate with the students. So like we'll be doing like trivia nights. And for those Rob from TripX DC, like that kind of trivia stuff, we're going to be doing some of those things for my students. So we're going to be doing a lot of stuff to try to have, not just having the students feel part of something, but also the professors as well. Let's see.
Mr. Blonde is still singing the song. Love me.
Say that you love me. Anyway, Justin, you're very funny. But there's one. Maddie said something. Anya's a big fan. Thank you. Where'd it go?
Hang on, Bubba Spartans. If not April and May, when would you reschedule to Greece for the second best time to go to Greece?
When's the
off-ish season?
When's the grape thing?
No, that's on Panagia is August 15th for Caleb's birthday. So August 15th is a great time to go. They do the smashing of the grapes with their feet and whatnot in certain places. That would be a cool time. So April and May is fine. I'm just telling you to expect it to be more expensive, but I think it would be really great. If you can't do that late, I would go later, end of August, September again. Those are the best times, like spring and fall, because Europe floods Greece during the summer. So also,
you need to realize, especially if you do the islands and stuff like that in Greece, sometimes they don't start till July 1st on those cheap flights, and you might there's a lot of stuff you have to think about. There's the flights, not always, but also the ferries might be limited before like May. So I have heads up there. A few other people. So Maddie, thank you for becoming a weekend warrior traveler.
Welcome
we appreciate it. Welcome to the club. There'll be, I'll post a thing in the community, Wolters, youtube.com/WoltersWorld. And I'll post a little thing there, and you can find it that's just for community members. And then we can get your email, and we can get you signed up so you can join the superheroes on our Facebook page just for you. So welcome. Thank you.
You'll love it.
Cassandra, thank you very much for the super chat. Hello from Chicago. My boyfriend and I spent a whole month in Italy last year. Your videos are very helpful. That's really great.
Thank you,
and I'm super
awesome.
#jealous right now because I wish I guess we were there for a month last year. But like
Let's
that's
do
so
it.
cool. It's so nice. And that's one of those things. Because Cassandra, you did the right thing. You went with your boyfriend to see if you could travel well together for a month. Good call. And I'm going to guess you might have learned a few things along the way.
G. Anderson, Ginger, asks what was one of our favorite things traveling that we have talked about, that we still talk about today. Honey, there are so many dang stories. Go back and watch every one of these. You'll see like 10 stories on every live thing.
For an hour.
It depends on what comes up. There is never... I feel like not a day goes by where we don't reminisce some crazy story, good, bad, or otherwise, of traveling. But I have to say that travel has not just enriched our lives because of the memories and whatever, but it's the things that we bring into our everyday. Like when it's time to eat, in our house we yell na mesa, which is what you say in Brazil or maybe Portugal too, but in Brazil you say na mesa. It's just come to the table, you know. Or tutti a tavola a mangiare. It's, everybody come to the table, and eat. There are words that come into our everyday experiences from our travels. So there is never not a moment. I can't tell you what the favorite thing is because it's all of them. So,
Tell them we drank all the crack and rum.
We have no more crack and rum, Mark says. So,
for those that were asking for release the Kraken, I did have that. So that's what I was looking for, Geo Scholar, because I thought I still had some, but alas.
Alas.
Yeah, sorry. I've been drinking as well. Not as much as you, but.
Oh, Kat, bless your heart. Jocelyn, today I just canceled our 4th Europe trip this year. My God, bless you. I'm so sorry. You know what? We feel it. We know it.
Yeah.
How many trips did we cancel this year?
I went through and you made me stop because I was depressed.
Yeah, I know, because I couldn't handle it anymore. So.
Danielle was supposed to go to all those places in Wales this year.
I'm sorry. It's such a great thing.
Edward Football. Well, you heavy drinkers are outlasting me. I gotta go to bed, as they say in Maine. All right. Well, Maine's a gorgeous place. I'd go to bed there. It's a nice place.
I do love it there. So nice. Somebody up there with a K, I don't know, it scrolled by kind of quick, said thumbs up. So,
oh, yeah.
Yes?
If you want to give thumbs up, a like for the live feed, we really appreciate it. It means a lot to us, and it does make a difference. It's funny how live feeds and YouTube work. So those likes do really, really help. And all you guys have been so awesome. So thank you.
Thank you. Lorelai says that her YouTube was glitching and something about a guy with thick skin. That was a podcast thing. There's someone else was saying they've been on a few live feeds tonight. Okay, go have fun. Someone else has been on here with some live. They say they've been looking at other live feeds, have some glitches. YouTube's been really weird lately, how they've changed some stuff and. 15 dislikes. I don't know. She's talking crazy now. Who knows? Let's see. So everyone have a nice night. Yeah, okay. Edward, you have a nice night too, buddy. I appreciate it. Night, Mr. Blonde. Let's see. Yeah, so Kansas Girl Bra was talking about the Everest base camp. Thank you. Yeah, I definitely don't want to do the cheapest company. There are some things you don't want to go do cheaply and trek in the Everest bike. Yes, it's definitely that. And that's one of the things is sometimes it's worth to pay the money. And I think this is a good time, a good kind of segue into when you're looking at taking guided tours when you're going to say like a walking tour or something like that. Because a lot of places have free walking tours and you just tip them at the end. And some are okay. But what I've found, especially in Europe, a lot of them have just like read the rough guide. Not that Rick Steves are the only planet. They've done like the second tier or third tier books that are a little bit different. And so it's kind of like they parrot those entire lines. They don't actually know a lot about the city. They're just like, oh, I memorized a few guidebooks and that's it. That's why I always say, it's like, if the city you really want to know or there's some experience you really want to know about, get a really good guide for it. I know we use Walks of Europe. I took students to Italy a few years ago, and we had 2 groups, and one of the guides we had when we're walking through is like, you see that book that's in all the stalls they're selling about the Vatican? He's like, look on the back. We turned it over. It was him. It was his book they were selling. I'm like, oh! And it just made it so much more
impactful that we had someone that was so well trained. So sometimes it's really worth it to do that. Yeah, Mark, will you be teaching on campus this fall? I am teaching online this fall because I have 3 classes of 400 students. And so you can't social distance that, and I would not feel comfortable for my students because I worry about them. So what I'm going to be doing is I filmed on our Professor Wolters channel. I have a bunch of videos that are there, but also we're going to do some live lectures as well. So if students want to have a live lecture, we can do that, where they can watch it, or they can watch the YouTube videos, whatever works best for them. Let's see. Yeah, Anderson understands. Totally get ahead.
Maddie's a sailor, and so we're not allowed to talk about the Kraken.
Okay, gotcha.
We
My
understand.
bad. Let's see. Oh my God, my mommy senses that was my boy. Messing things up. Okay.
Mommy senses.
Oh, Nicole says, hey, my mom and I were looking forward to this live stream for 2 days straight. Thanks so much for bringing us so much joy. I'm glad we could. Say hi to your mom for us.
Sorry I got a little tipsy, Nicole.
It happens. Let's see. Oh, for food tips for Scotland. I do have a video on the food of Scotland. You should check. Apparently, the night flight's getting in. To check out when you are there. I have a Spain food video that I haven't put up yet, and so I probably should do that. Put that there.
But you know what? And Mr. Means to Travel said patatas bravas.
Yes!
So, funny thing about patatas bravas.
It was in our wedding.
It was one of the sides.
Was I in our wedding?
Dumbass. Okay, so anywho.
What? You right there, you're getting our channel banned.
We're not.
Naughty mouth girl.
So it's late enough. We're good. So
Maddie says you're her favorite person ever.
Aw, I love you.
She's my favorite person
We're
ever.
bestest
too.
friends. What was it? Oh, patatas
Oh,
bravas.
look, Time for a Kiss isn't here, but we're asking where he is. So Time for a Kiss, and I've seen Time for a Kiss on a few other live streams over the last.
Yellow Productions.
Yeah, Yellow
Was
Production
it on
stuff,
that one?
Chris. Yeah.
So our entire wedding menu was food that we love, and it was from all over the world, and we just put weird stuff into it, whatever. But I don't know that it made a lot of sense to anyone else, but it was just stuff that we really loved. So
Yeah.
yes.
Let's see. Whoa, loud Mark. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, we're a little loud.
Lorelai, I want to say,
Scottish
when I
salmon.
do travel again, which I'm not in no rush for, I understand. Quite the opposite. I'm referring to Walters World. Oh, thank
Good.
you.
I'm in a total rush. I mean, because I really need it, but not it's really going to happen
Oh, this
for safety's sake.
Geo Scholar says you're allowed to talk about the Seattle Kraken, which is the new NHL team, which is starting up, I think, next year.
Ooh, how about this?
Claradia. I know. They write quite often. We always never know how to say it.
And dear, I'm sorry.
As a professor that speaks in front of 400 students, what are your biggest tips for public speaking?
So I don't speak in front of 400 students, except that I do. I go in and I talk to his students every semester about
Nonprofit marketing.
Nonprofit marketing and NGOs and things like that, and just the nonprofit world of business. And start with your expectations. And make some jokes. Just be easy and try not to look at anyone's eyes. This is something I have learned. Look at the top of people's heads. Look at people's foreheads or people's mouths. One thing that really, really helps me is that as soon as I stand up, I'm like, I have 3 things I'm going to ask of you. The first one is to put down your phones and your laptops. You don't need to take notes. Just sit here and listen to me. Let's just have a discussion. Because when people are sitting there typing or they're on their phones, 1, I find it rude. 2, I find it very uncomfortable. I feel like they're Snapchatting me or whatever. They're making fun of me somehow on Instagram or whatever. I'm very uncomfortable with that. So I just say, hey, put it all away. Let's just sit for a little while and be together as people. And that changes the entire tone of it. They don't always love it. But once we get talking, and I always tell people that, when we speak, when I ask you a question, unless it's obviously rhetorical, I really want you to just shout it out. Just talk to me. Let's have a conversation. So that's what helps me. How about you?
Well, one of the things is whenever I go there, I go with a very positive attitude. Because some people go in and they're like, everyone's gonna make fun of me. Like, don't even worry about it. You got to be like, look, I know what I want to talk about. Preparation is the key. If you feel comfortable with stuff you're gonna talk about, you'll be fine. Like if you try to wing it, you'll do good one time. The second time, you like fluster a lot. So just prepare, have your stuff ready, and realize that you are the expert. And everyone's expecting you to be the expert because you're up there, but they're not gonna doubt you because wait, you're the one in front of 400 people. So that's one of the things there, just to have that kind of self-confidence up there. Another thing, which sounds weird, is make sure you got the audio right. Like make sure the mic and all that stuff set up, because if you don't get the technical stuff right, the audience loses you and they don't come back. So that's one of those things. But the big thing is just preparation. It's not that hard. I actually love it. I love doing the big classes. Like I'll have a 650 person class in the spring at 8 a.m. and I'm like, let's do this.
And I come in and
don't forget to tip your waiter.
I come in and
I call
goof
her
off
out
for a minute. Logan says, have you considered making a what to eat in Italy video?
So I have that filmed.
Nervetti!
Yes, Nervetti is not in that one. But I have a Nervetti video. The reason why I haven't put it out is so last summer I filmed this and I did a bunch of B-roll on my phone of a bunch of different foods so that I talked about because I want to have that in there. And that the backup hard drive that had that is corrupted, but I think it'll be okay. But I got to take it in. But since everything's been closed, I've been able to take it in. So once I get that, then I can start putting those out because that's like the Bratislava, Slovenia, Hungary stuff. I got a bunch of Vienna stuff. So once I can get those things working, because I had the chip, the original chip it was on, but now I can't find it. So that's the problem. Because what I'll do is I'll back up onto hard drives, and then I save the if you have a little mini SD cards and stuff for your phones and those things, I save all those as well for backup. So I have like two backups and that. But
so hang on, this is really disconcerting to me. The Geo Scholar says the U.S. Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville almost had to close its doors for good. Thanks to some donors, the Rocket Center was saved. Can I tell you what an impact that center had on our son? Mark and Liam went to space camp together
in
January, and one of my very best friends from college, she went there as a kid, and that's a huge thing. And praise God, somebody had the money to give, because it's such an amazing place. As a kid, I always wanted to go there. Then I figured out you had to be good at math, and
no, you don't have to be good at math at all.
To actually go to space, you have to be good at math.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I am not good at the math.
True.
They don't take artists to space because we're worthless.
Bye, Ginger. I'm sure you're probably gone by now, but thank you for being on here.
And
I forgot the G for Ginger Anderson. That's right.
Yeah.
Maddie, sorry, I feel like I'm trying to catch up for 3 years worth of content in one night. Hey,
so are we.
It was funny because that was so cool. We had the every Wednesday and every Saturday because we were all stuck together. You know, we were having those things, and it was so cool. And now it's like back. I'm like, it's like we're reminiscing.
Maddie, the group will catch you up, because as soon as you get on the Superheroes of Wolters World Facebook thing, you'll be caught up in no time whatsoever. Mm-hmm. So I love this. Are you reading that one?
Carmen?
Kansas Girl Abroad is writing to Carmen and says, I just want to hike base camp, not climb Everest. No way I would climb that mountain. The only time I want to be at that cruising altitude is it in a 747 when I'm on a plane. I love that. That's me, sister. I'm with you. Yep.
Carmen, I'm glad our videos could help you out to get ready for your honeymoon in London and Paris. That's one thing that's really cool. It's like I'm really proud and happy that I can be a part, or we can be a part of so many people's life experiences, like a honeymoon, a family trip, getting engaged kind of stuff. It's really special. So thank you. Let's see.
Talking about Seattle Mariners too.
Yeah, instead of the Supersonics.
Not the 90s anymore, huh? Right. Ellipsis of triple tap. My message was deleted because I don't know.
Sorry.
If there's anything political or ugly, it gets deleted.
Or people aren't sure, so don't feel bad. Okay, so Maddie, how do you feel about students who ask for extensions on assignments? If they ask me, because I have a class, I don't teach it anymore. This is my last semester teaching this one, but we do big projects for companies. And I don't want those companies to get good projects. My whole thing is like, look, we're helping out this company. I don't want them getting bad work. If students ask me like, look, Mark, we got too many projects going on. I'm not going to be able to turn it in by next Thursday. Could we get like the extra weekend? I'm like, sure, no problem. I'm not going to take any points off. But it's when they write me at like midnight the day before it's due, and then they ask, then I'm not as helpful. But because since they work with companies, I don't want some company that's like, oh, I work with college students. I know nothing about social media marketing. They're going to help me. I don't want them getting screwed over. I want everybody to work out, so I have no problem helping them out.
Good night, Francis. And Francis said that
Later, Francis.
She's sad about not knowing, about when to travel or when we're going to be able to, and the hope is there and whatever. But yeah, we're all in that same boat. But she said that these streams help keep her sane, and I'm glad for
Francis.
it. Yeah. And she also said, I don't know if Kathy's still watching, but love.
She's not.
She's not. She went to bed a minute ago.
Yeah.
By a minute, I mean a long minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cat Dan, who could dislike you guys? You rock. So there's one person, maybe two people that will always immediately videos will come up. There'll be 2 dislikes.
And guess what? They found me. Took them a minute.
Yeah. Well, Jocelyn will get like 15. Like I don't know. With her channel, she's getting like
or YouTube's like a little wonky because
her last like 4 or 5 videos,
and then there'll be none.
Yeah. So it's weird.
Damian Palmer says best places to propose in Europe, where your heart moves you.
This is very
true. Because Mark proposed to me on the Grand Canal in Venice on a little Vaporetto stop. There were no people around. We were just wandering on our way to our hotel. He had just picked me up from the airport. I hadn't showered in like 24 hours. Like I would been on.
I thought you're nasty.
I couldn't shower in the Brussels airport.
Whatever.
So anyway, it was just the moment. But I have to say that there was a moment when we were in Paris together. We hadn't been dating long enough to do that, but we knew. We knew. And
because I'm amazing.
We walked into this little courtyard behind the Louvre. It's actually still part of the Louvre, but it's back on the back bit.
Yeah.
And we both, like, there was no one there. It was lit up at night. What, are you blushing?
No, you
like
just
you're blushing.
Nothing.
And I'm just focusing
it was
on
super,
that
it was
moment.
super. It was
like
super. It was super romantic.
It took our breath away, both of us. And I looked at him, and he looked at me. He goes, "God damn it! I wish I had a ring right now." And I was like, "I wish you did too." Yeah. And here we were, like 3 months into dating. Like, I mean, that was
more than that. But, yeah.
More than that, but like it was only we dated across an ocean, so.
Yeah, I mean, we've been 6 months.
So when the moment strikes, there are beautiful places everywhere, and just have it in your pocket and be ready.
Yeah, because the thing is, you'll see is there's some place like, oh, Eiffel Tower, actually have, but then you'll get there and be like, it's too crowded. It's not really, it's not the right. So it's all about the moment. That's the thing.
It's when your heart moves.
And I think I actually have a few videos on that.
You made one when we were down in
Iceland.
Caribbean somewhere.
Oh, and that one too, yeah, because somebody asked about that.
Somebody had asked for it.
Let's see. Pixie, we have not been to Alaska, but we'll be there. Ching Dynasty, good to see you, buddy.
Ching Dynasty. Very
let's
cool.
see. Where would you find the best food in the country? Wherever you see a line of locals, that's going to be your best bet right there.
And also where you hear the local language. That's always my...
And one thing I do is you can ask, whenever I come into town, whether it's Ubers or taxi drivers, I always chat them up, like ask them about places to go, and realize they're not always going to be great, but at least it gives you some information. And so that's one thing I like to do is just get a feel for stuff, and you look things up, but yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. Let's see.
Kat would have liked to have you as a prof back in the 70s, except that, well...
I want to move on because you're going to make someone feel bad. So, let's see. WestJet requires you to wear a mask. I think all the airlines require you to have masks now. And the thing is actually Southwest said it doesn't matter. If you can't wear a mask, you will not be let on a plane. And you're going to see some of these things where Liam's coming down at 10:30.
Ticanis costas.
You're gonna see like there's been people that have been banned for life from airlines because they refuse to wear a mask or whatever. You have to realize this. Look, there's gonna be less airlines when this is over, and if you're banned from one of like the 4 airlines that are allowed for 5 or whatever,
you're kind of screwed.
So you gotta be careful with that. So. Let's see. Personal faves. I don't know what the personal faves are for.
Oh, yep. Means to Travel has live stream tomorrow night at 7
at 7?
Central Time, by the way.
So you'll see us pop on there.
And
the
Derek is
making
you're making dumplings right now?
Right now.
It's like 10:30.
Right this minute.
Dang.
He's gonna hook me up when we go up there. But I have to, yeah, so. Well, no, you're not even going to be there. You're going to be gone. So I'll have to find you in England.
Ignacio, we are not traveling. We are at home.
Yeah, we are at home. Hopefully one day we'll be out again.
You hear the big sigh? I don't want to be at home anymore. I'm so sick of being at home.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's see.
Yeah. All right.
All right, Roxanne, love you too. Have to go to bed. We'll watch the rest tomorrow. Have a great night. We're probably going to take off here in a little bit too.
Yeah, I'm getting sleepy.
Yeah. Oh, pork dumplings. Yeah, I actually made. So we have where we are. We have a lot of Asian markets around here, and so we actually got some pork dumplings. And the boys and I had actually the pork buns. We had the pork barbecue buns last night, so we were all very happy. Mama was already asleep. Ooh, spanakopita. Jocelyn needs to make her spanakopita recipe.
I will make some spanakopita on my channel. I swear I will do it soon. Also domadas. Darian, Magnificent Germany with Darian. Darian is having a live stream on Saturday at 7 Eastern. That would be 8 Central. And I'm not doing
6 Central.
Oh, shoot. See, I just need to shut up now.
So Derek has had too much Tinto. See, Derek has had too much Tinto. You've had too much whiskey.
He had Tinto?
Yeah, it's just red wine. We have not. Final bell. We have not been to the Jersey Shore, not yet. That's eventually down the road. We will definitely be there.
What is your favorite food from a Spanish country?
Patatas bravas from Spain, but a Spanish speaking. Well, man, the steaks from Argentina, dulce de leche, the ice cream from Argentina, empanadas from Chile, quesillos from Nicaragua.
Peruvian cuisine is incredible. I love the seafood in the south of Spain. I don't know, tons and tons, right?
Yeah, so much food.
Maddie says spanakopita is my favorite. I will make it. I promise. I will do that soon.
Yeah. Paella is good. So I took my students to Spain a couple years ago. We actually when we were in Valencia, we did a paella making class. It was actually a super fun time.
Dag nabbit, Nick. Yes, I need to make red beans and rice. Mark Finley, I think, has been bugging me about that. I need to handle that. So, I'll get on it. I promise. So,
let's see. Oh, Dad is enjoying the double block, watching the live chat. Prost.
Oh, Prost. I'll just have my water because,
It's crab best right now. Yes, Peru ceviche is really good. We ate a ton of that when we were there. There's some good foods.
Hello in Freiburg.
Oh, Freiburg, Maine. Nice.
Cool.
Oh, Chingasi, don't worry. Lightning hopefully won't strike you, my friend.
Oh,
but yeah, when it gets big, it's funny. This is one thing. So where we live, we have big, huge lightning storms in the summer. So it's like kind of normal for us.
It's very normal for us. We have lightning all the time.
Yeah, but then when I was living like in Lithuania and Germany, there's very little thunder or lightning. And so when there is it, people are like freaking out. And I'm like, what? There was like one lightning bolt. They're like, oh my God! Like people are freaking out.
Tanny Welch, I was wondering if you've traveled this year during the pandemic. So since the pandemic, we drove down to Savannah. We rented a house, a standalone house on the beach away from everyone else so that we wouldn't have to worry about passing people in corridors and things like that. And we did really social distancing things. Part of why we went there was because I lived there, and so it's like going home. I know the grocery stores. I know, I know where to go, so we can go into the grocery store, get what we need, and get out. just like we would at home and not have to do a lot. So yes, we've sort of traveled. We've gone to Grandma and Grandpa's a few times, 2-3 times. It's been really good. Yeah, well, I had to go for a funeral too. So anyway, yeah, we've done a little bit, but not a ton. And
John Smith, you are up way too early, my friend.
Wow, 5:36. That's stupid early.
You told the town you're early.
Yes. Quilardia, we have not been to Mexico City. We have talked about it.
I was supposed to go there early May for VidCon.
Yeah.
Mexico, but.
And my sister's best friend is from Mexico City, and she's given me all the tips. We have locals to take us around and things like that. We haven't done it yet, so at some point we will.
So Rowan Boy, yeah, we were looking at doing some Michigan UP kind of stuff, but right now I think what we might do is do like a Rocky Mountain trip. Maybe Montana is where I'd like to go, so we'll see how that goes. Yes, Mr. Blonde, Cajun food is good. It's very good.
Cat Dim says, my husband proposed to me under the Eiffel Tower when we were a little bit tipsy. It sounds like some of your proposals. Mark had a few of those, and I told him, listen, you have to have a ring. You have to mean it. What was the other thing? And it has to be in person.
Yeah.
Because he kept proposing to me over the internet.
We live in a different place.
I was like, damn it, I need these 3 things.
Yeah. Somebody's high maintenance with all their needs. My goodness.
You know what? But I accepted your proposal when you gave me a plastic spider ring at Halloween.
This is true. Mm-hmm. This is true.
I still have it.
I know. You need to go.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I love you.
I love you too, Ben. Anyway, so I think I need to go put Jocelyn to bed. So we will get there. Thank you, everybody, for all the super chats. Thank you for all the support. If you can hit a like button before we take off, we really appreciate it. Maddie was proposed to in Thailand on Koh Lanta. Pretty sure.
That's cool.
We wouldn't have gone if it wasn't for the channel telling us to explore the world. That's awesome. That is so awesome. So we want to wish you all a wonderful night. Thank you so much for joining us for Whiskey Wednesday again. As you can tell, we are out of practice from our Whiskey Wednesdays because usually we're drinking till at least like
tipsy.
midnight almost. So we're just really glad we could be together with everybody again, and it's really nice to see you all here.
We've missed you.
We've missed y'all, and it's just so nice. Ronnie Dove, good to see you, buddy.
Hey.
But yeah, so many good people. Logan,
Off the Beaten Path, Adventures and Travel.
Oh, hey, good to see you.
Oh, Megan, good
family.
Night. Nicole, tell everyone bye-bye. Laura, hi.
Mm-hmm.
Eric, okay. Nick, all of y'all, love you guys. Thank you.
Ivory King 2297.
What?
Old school. We're going old school.
Oh my goodness, you guys. I've missed you guys. Thank you for being part of our tribe.
Yeah, and, you all made it. You've made it a lot easier to get through this quarantine. Yeah. So thank you for that.
Yep.
So y'all are the best. We wish you all the best, and until next time, great travels, everybody.
Darian. Oh, shout out to our.
Oh, Mark and all our moderators. Thank you for helping out. You guys are the best.
Yeah.
And we will see you next time. Bye, everybody. Bye.